Pop Talks. I'm Coop. That's AG. That's Sean. Welcome, everybody.
What up? What up?
Make sure you click like, share, subscribe to the page. We're flowing. We're growing. We got more content, more shows coming soon. But we're going to go ahead and get off into things today because we got a lot to cover, fellas. Feel like we got a tight, action-packed show. So let's go ahead and get into things. Tell me your thoughts for your bar seminars today, gentlemen. AG, you want to kick us off?
For sure, man. I picked Keeping It Moving by Joey Badass and Nas and Light of Things. Joey Badass has been in a lot of talks recently we'll get to here in a minute with the main topic. But the reason why I picked this is produced by Static Selector, Keeping It Moving. A lot of this talk around Joey, this and TDE in the West Coast is like, Joey's not one of them ones. Like, he's not a spitter. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are late to the party on Joey Badass. So I wanted to highlight a song that was a back and forth, little bar seminar between him and one of our legends, somebody who we think is the GOAT. And on this track beside Nas, Joey sounds like he belongs. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to shed a little bit of light on that Joey's really a spitter and he, been at a high level for a very long time. So I wanted to shed a little bit of light on that. And not for nothing, in light of recent things, I wouldn't mind if, Joey was a feature on the upcoming Nas and Premier album, because on this track, he got pretty dope chemistry with Nas, and Joey on Premier tracks got really dope chemistry. So, that's something I would like to see to keep this New York momentum going.
You know what, AG, if you would, I want you to footnote that thought, if you would, because I actually want to piggyback off of that when we actually get into the dialogue of this diarrhea of diss records that has occurred. Yeah, it's a diarrhea of diss records. Yeah, it's a diarrhea of diss records. First of all, niggas have gone too far. Just too much. Niggas need to get regular jobs or something. But I do want you to footnote that, and I do think it's an excellent choice to I think it's an excellent choice to highlight that, he can go toe to toe with, the best. Sean, what about you? What you got?
So I went with Strong Will Continue from the Distant Relatives album, the final verse, the fourth verse actually from Nas. I remember listening here, I actually heard that verse in concert for the first time when he had just added it to the end of that actual song. Because when that album first came out, that verse wasn't on the original version of the album. He actually went back and added that verse because he was going through. This was when he first started talking about the Khalees issue, and I actually saw that. My Wiz and I went to that concert in Myrtle Beach at the House of Blues when they were touring, and they did the entire album in the concert. And that was probably the best concert I've been to. I've been to several concerts of Nas, but that was the best one because it was a live band. And, that whole album is really a musician's album. If you guys remember, that album had a lot of musician-based production on it. So to have a live band there with the drums, the African drums, the guitar riffs and all of those things, to me, that was one of the dopest concerts I've ever been to. And I remember he actually spit that verse a cappella, and people in the audience was going crazy because we didn't know it was coming. We didn't hear that before. And he was like, yo, I got something else. He was telling Damian Martin, I got something else. And he came back out and just started spitting that verse a cappella. And I remember yo, he's going crazy. And then when the deluxe CD came out, that's when that verse was on that particular deluxe CD. So I wanted to select Only Strong Will Continue final verse by Nas.
Powerful verse, bro. That's one of my favorite Nas verses of all time, man. Every time I hear that verse, it brings chills, man. He was in a different zone on that. And then the subject matter, the father-son bars, the father-son relationship, and the dealing with dealings he was having with women at the time, that bar whole verse was crazy.
Police. It was because remember that was during the time of all the noise started coming around that she was cheating and everything, and he was doing this thing, and it started getting real nasty. And you get the pain. I mean, that was one of the first, and I've been to Nas' concert before, But that was one of the first times and only times that I seen him like really get semi-emotional.
Yes.
Verse, because we were right there, because this is the House of Blues. And the
Right.
House of Blues is a very intimate setting. So we're like literally right there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like in arm's distance, if you will. And he was like really just like getting into it, man, like, because he was hurt. You know what I mean? All that stuff was going on.
And on the album, when the beat drop out and you can hear it, and it's like got the heartbeat joint in the background, it's real powerful. Like, I've never considered Nas one of those top MCs like a Scarface, a DMX, or a Pac that can evoke a lot of emotion, you know, like that, or a Ghostface. But on this verse, he takes it there. Like, I hold this verse and the World's an Addiction final verse like in that realm. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think some excellent discourse, guys. For my bar seminar, I chose, I think I kind of took the easy way out, but I'm kind of going to explain my easy way out. I picked DMX's second verse from Get At Me Dog, from It's Dark and Hell Is Hot. I picked that because I actually, I listened to the album today. When we do our classic music reviews, I try to listen to the albums depending on how many albums it is. I try to listen to the albums, the week of, the day of, days before. Today it was America's Most, and It's Dark and Hell Is Hot. I'm super familiar with both of those albums, so I just, gave it a run through today. And we're going to talk about this some when we get into the actual classic nature of it. DMX is probably the only other rapper that through his dialogue, other than Tupac, speaks to so many different levels of our disenfranchised Black people when he speaks. A lot of our MCs that have the ability to reach the way DMX does, it is relegated to a street drug-infested mafioso style oftentimes. And DMX's draw in is that he talks about the struggle. And, Get At Me Dog, I tell people, Get At Me Dog is the most ambitious first single in rap history to me, because it's really it's about a guy who don't have shit, Yeah. Like, and I feel like the second verse really encompassed that when he said, the days are longer and it seems like I'm facing time. I've got a lot of dreams, but I'm not really chasing mine. I soak it all up like I'm sitting by nowadays, getting by, more occasionally getting high. I live to die, that's where I'm headed. Let your man hold something. Now it's all about if you can get, that's a place, like, that's not coming from a place of like, you don't gotta be a quote unquote street dude to understand.
Not at all.
That kind of strife, and it's that connection. That's why he sold 5 million records. Like, that's why he sold 5 million records out the gate, because he tapped into a consciousness of the have-nots from the jump, and this song was the start of that. And I think the second verse, you can argue about what verse is the best, but I think this is the verse that encompasses his style the best.
Y'all remember the energy around that record and video when it dropped?
Still do.
Jesus,
I can still see that whole video in my head. That's what I mean. It was just like, because and you all remember this, Cannabis was the dude that was popping in the streets.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
It was like with one song, with one video, it's like there were no more shiny suits, there was no more cannabis talk. It was like it all ended, and this was the record that ended it. This song, along with the video, it was over.
It was just grainy, man. Like, I remember seeing the video and going out, and the album went out. Yeah, I remember copping the maxi single that day, and it was just the artwork was "Get At Me Dog," just like real big print.
It's like a gray CD, wasn't it?
Yeah, gray with red writing. It was either red, I think it was red writing on, just said Get At Me Dog" and stuff. And it was just like everything changed from that point forward, man. It was nuts, man. It was what a time to be alive, man. X really shifted the culture, you know what I'm saying? And it started with that.
It's one of rap's seminal moments. It is. There are very few, like, how about this? Very few artists have created moments before their album is dropped.
Right.
Very few artists have created a moment before their debut album. And it's like the first two names that come to mind, pre-DMX is Snoop and Nas. Post-DMX would be Kendrick, probably. But it's like that's what happened with Get At Me Dog. Like that, it was that kind of like, oh, like this It's that dude.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
Idle Gray. I was about to say I see Idle Gray with the super chat. Idle Gray, shiny suits lasted longer than people remember. No Limit, Cash Money fall under that too. Big New York rappers were still flashy. I mean, yes, but DMX killed a lot of the prominence of it because he outsold all of those rappers in one fell swoop, pretty much, like in a year. So it's like it's not that it like necessarily disappeared, but it went from driver's seat to passenger seat to back seat really fast.
It was a stark contrast because if y'all remember, DMX was on that Puff Daddy and the Family tour. You know, they actually came to West Virginia, and I called him here. But like
West Virginia, man.
man, all right, shut up, Sean. Let me talk.
I mean, hold on. But before you talk, Sean, you need to create a banner when AG starts talking about West Virginia that says all these
don't hit me
claims
with
and
the Stephen A.
stories,
Smith
all
banner.
these claims and stories by Adriel Green have not been verified by the common people outside of West Virginia.
No one
Hip
knows.
Hop Talks in general, we're still searching for the lady in the wheelchair from the LL Cool J concert. These stories have not been
Yo, I
confirmed
pray
or
that she's
verified.
okay. I pray that she's okay. Like, I don't know. That situation, I don't know if she came out of that all right, but I pray that she's
Well,
okay.
let us pray.
Yeah. But for real though, I don't know if y'all caught that tour, but that was a stark contrast. Like he was one of the openers, right? And it was a stark contrast in his set. So those two elements, like DMX's gritty style and then the flashy, shiny suit era, was merged on that tour. But to the point of the super chat, it wasn't an overnight thing, but it was still, the shift was still palpable in real time. You know what I'm saying? So it took a little bit, but it seemed in real time like it dissipated overnight.
Okay, so let me contextualize this. Let's not just make it about the shiny suit era either. Nas and Jay took a step back too. X was the man. That's what I'm saying. Like it affected everybody. It's like you couldn't walk around like in the 98, 99 and be like, yeah, like Nas is the man or like Jay is the man. It's like this dude just sold 9 million records in like 8 months. Like no.
Yeah. And
the music was there.
got
Look, the music was there, the aura was there, the record sales was there, the stage performance was there, the bars were there, the songs were there, the hits were there. Like, no, checkmate.
Yeah, and they got caught up in the shiny suit stuff too. Nas and Jay wasn't above that. They got caught up in that too.
Hate me now, anybody? Hate me now, anybody?
Yeah. Sean used to stand on top of the bodegas like that.
No. See, but when Sean stood on top of bodegas like that, Sean got arrested.
Sean had the Avirex, the Avirex with those turtle on top of the bodega.
What are we doing?
First of all, there's nothing wrong with the Avirex. There's nothing wrong with the Avirex.
Nothing wrong at all. You seen that white Avirex?
Get you a good booster. Yeah. I'd like to thank all my New York boosters who came down to North Carolina and get Avirex, Iceberg. Just like thank you guys.
That was
real
weight.
MVP.
We had those here too, just for the record.
You did not.
Once again, all statements made by Adriel Green that took place.
Y'all gonna make me go on my storage bill to put out the old Avirex.
Is West Virginia even a state in the Commonwealth of West Virginia?
Not. That's the thing.
Is it a Commonwealth? Is it like DC, right? CJ the Kid with the $20 super chat. It's about that time. I can't wait to see how you guys tackle this. Well, I don't think we're there yet. Before
what?
That's a little risque. That's a little risque asking me to tackle something.
I can see where this show is going already, y'all.
Before we tackle, we do want to say that we are going to do some music reviews shortly for Snoop Dogg's album and for Exhibit's album that is going to be coming up next week. We kind of wanted to make the main thing and focus on some of these important anniversaries, finalizing the BK list, finishing up the Queens list, talking about these rapping ass rappers that won't stop rapping this week and have me on YouTube for about 90 minutes straight today. I really don't appreciate that at all. Definitely gonna talk about these niggas. And just all the things. So we're gonna be getting to those things in a minute. We got an overwhelming response also about distant relatives. I believe Sean, you and AG have something cooking for that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. Shout out to the Twitterverse, man, and just even on YouTube, a lot of people responded really well to the anniversary of Distant Relatives. And typically we'll talk about the anniversaries on this show, but like Coop mentioned, we really want to dive into this battle royal tonight and really do a little, some good conversations around that. So we may circle the block this weekend and talk more about the anniversary Distant Relatives. We didn't realize how many people like actually showing love to it. We were getting comments on it like for 3 or 4 days straight since I posted it, and it got up to like 200,000 views on Twitter. So we definitely going to show some love to that anniversary for that album, but we'll do that probably Saturday or Sunday. So we're not abandoning our anniversary conversations or the reviews of Snoop and review of Exhibit Good albums. We're going to bring that back up for you guys next week. We just wanted to kind of sit on a little bit more, pause, process a little bit more so we can give you guys a good thorough breakdown.
It's actually what I told her last night. Like, you should sit on it a little bit more.
All right, man. Let's stop.
It's got installations.
See, I can tell what kind of show this is going to be.
It was like a super highway. It was like a super highway to the basket, and you just left the lane open. I felt like Dominique in '88. All right, windmill, double pump the Reeboks 2 times, jump, double pump, double windmill, double everything.
This is a family show, and then
is it a family show? Your daughter graduated. Is it a family show though?
Then your daughter graduated yesterday.
She did.
And you're doing this on a graduation day? What is
wrong? No, her headphones are on. She can't hear this. She's talking on the phone with her friend. She can't hear any of this. I definitely would be doing this. I definitely would be doing this if she was at work or something like that. She got the headphones on. She can't hear a thing. She's like walking around with the diploma showing everybody on the ground.
Look at AG, man. AG tiptoeing.
Wow.
Tiptoeing, buddy.
Wow. I hope I didn't cost us any money. At least I didn't talk about the Republicans or anything.
Oh, man. Okay.
Did you know?
So to reel it back
there
in.
are white people in South Africa suffering right now.
Yo, man. Yo, where's Andrew?
Yo. So Cali in New York. TDE East.
Yeah. So Joey versus the West. So guys, I guess over the course of the last 7 days, rappers decided they wanted to rap again and made about 18 diss records. How would you all like to tackle this cacophony, this plethora of diss records? Would you like to go one by one with these boring ass diss records? Would you like to would you like to highlight some of the records that are actually good? Would we like to clown some of these records that just suck? That niggas need to just like not drop because it's not hurting their stature, it's hating their stature. And even for the amount of views that you were getting on YouTube, nigga, you only making $500 off of this. I know.
That is crazy though. But no, let's talk about all of the. You don't have to go by every single song because, to your point, it's out of control. Let's keep the focus on the main event. We could sprinkle in the other pieces here and there. Let's have a conversation about it.
So do you mind if I start off by saying this? And I haven't heard any other pundit say this just yet. The most revealing part of all these records to me is that Joey is a better rapper than all of these guys. Like, if you don't hear that, I don't know exactly what you're hearing, because the main thing that I hear is that, well, even if you don't feel like he has the right to go at Kendrick, well, the reason that he can take shots at all these guys and still keep coming back is because their shots aren't enough to body an MC of his caliber. He still is a high caliber MC. And he is doing some things on the microphone and structure and song format wise that, quite frankly, none of these other guys are doing. And so they may get their jabs and their shots in, and it might sound good for a minute. And there are some moments on here between these like 97 records that got made in 36 hours. But for the most part, the highlights of these records are when Joey steps to the mic, and it's because Joey's the best rapper of this crop of rappers that are engaged in these battles. He's the best songwriter. He does the most versatile things on the MC on the microphone. He's the most agile. I mean, and that's the main thing that I really hear. And so while some of this stuff is entertaining, it's like my main takeaway is that, well, he still is the best of the guys that are involved in this.
People forget that he's a vet, too. Joey's been doing this for a minute. You
He's
know, he's been in
nice.
the game since he was like 17.
Yeah, Joey's nice. I mean, he's not a regular rapper. He's not just a
Right.
rapper. Like he can rap, and he is showing through this that it's like, well, all these guys are dope MCs, but a dope MC, a dope record don't make. And so Joey's both right now. He's making dope lyrics and dope records, and that is
Yes.
the separation in my opinion. But tell me what your thoughts are.
I was going to get to those later. Sean, you got anything to add? Because piggybacking off what Coop said, I have a couple points that I wanted to make. But you got anything you want to add first?
No, go ahead, please kick it off.
So, with what you said, Coop, like Joey being a better rapper and making better records, I'm not going to sit here and deny the fact that Ray Vaughn might have said some doper wittier stuff on the diss records he did, but Joey, the way he puts it all together, the production that he chose for a lot of the records is crazy. You know what I'm saying? The My Town joint, insane. And even the joint, the Crash Dummy, crazy. That's a bop. You know what I mean? And the way he rapped over that, because a lot of these, Ray Vaughn and them, they were doing in AZ Chike or whatever. Joey called him ass cheek. Like, they were doing their best Kendrick impression, like literally trying to be Kendrick. And then Joey comes in with the Kendrick flow on Crash Dummy and did a better Kendrick rendition in a mockery, than they did really trying to rap like Kendrick. So Joey is just versatile and artistic. But what I want to say is like DAYLYT, for instance. A couple of his tracks sounded to me like a battle rapper who's used to the arena where I'm rapping a cappella, everybody's behind me doing the oohing and ahhing and all that, pause. But when you have to put that over the beat, that's a little bit different when constructing a song. You know what I'm saying? It sounded like a battle rapper trying to fit these intricate over your head bars over a beat, where Joey's punches and everything he was saying was just super clear. Flow was mean, and he knows how to make records, and he was sticking the landing. DAYLYT and them were saying some dope stuff, but they weren't sticking the landing. Mm-hmm. So with the records Joey made, I want to pose a question to you guys, because Coop, you hit the nail on the head. These were dope records, and the flurry of joints that he released, like let's count the Red Bull Spiral Freestyle. Yeah. Let's count the Finals, My Town, and Crash Dummy. Let's count all those. Yeah.
My Town's a banger. My Town is the shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. People might say I'm insane for this, but just those 4 records right there, I say are in the same wheelhouse of what Kendrick did with Euphoria, Meet the Grams, Not Like Us, and what was the 616 in LA? Because I think Crash Dummy is very comparable to Not Like Us. I mean, it blew up because of who Kendrick is, and then 2, because who he was talking about. So Crash Dummy's not going to blow up on that level, but just in the level of making a dope diss record, what you're doing as an MC on the record, I think what Joey's doing was comparable to what Kendrick did. Am I wrong?
Sean, go ahead.
I wouldn't say that. I think that Joey is doing something that is unique for him in his bag, because right now the mark for Joey is to show that he can rap. A lot of people are not familiar with Joey like that, right? There's a familiarity with Kendrick. We know who Kendrick is.
Right.
We know Kendrick is one of them, right? We know he was one of them. We always knew he was one of them. We just never saw him in a battle arena like he showed last year and coming into this year. We didn't know a lot about Joey. Those who know. I know Joey catalog. I know what Joey can do. But This is the first time that you're seeing Joey actually have some bite pause to him in some of the battle like that, right? Because he's actually playing a game that he's taken out of the pages of others. He's taking a page out of what Kendrick did, to be quite honest. Now, he's not executing on the level of Kendrick. I won't go that far and say he's executing on Kendrick level. I would say that he's showing some remnants of it, but he's also showing that he has a little bit of more grit than people probably thought he didn't even have, because he's crafting up some really strong records in his diss series. You know what I mean? He's crafting it up really, really, really well. Now, Kendrick is a whole different monster. We'll talk about that in some other capacity. But for this alone, in his pocket, he's doing what he's supposed to do in his pocket. This is
Do you think the bar work is comparable
to Kendrick?
Yeah.
No.
So
no.
No.
No. So if I may say a couple things before we kind of proceed, like with the next part of this, like AG, I do understand your analysis and your comparative analysis with that. I think the separation, first of all, I think Not Like Us is a separation record because Not Like Us has turned into Kendrick's signature record, and Kendrick is a top 10-ish, 20-ish MC all time. Right. So because of Not Like Us, I think it makes that comparative analysis hard. That and the fact that Kendrick is just, and I still hear it, he's just a better MC than Joey. And I think we all know that.
And the target makes a difference too. You know, the designated target makes a difference because Not Like Us talking about Drake and Crash Dummy talking about DAYLYT and VAUGHN, that's a big difference. You know what I mean? Because a lot of the interest comes from the target.
Correct. I mean, sometimes you're only as good as your subject matter. See, drop a gem on them in the bitch in you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like when you have room to talk that shit, it makes it a little bit easier. Absolutely. So maybe how about this? Joey's degree of difficulty is probably harder than Kendrick's because he doesn't have Kendrick's fan base, he doesn't have Kendrick's skill, and he does have more people attacking him than Kendrick does. So
that's what I'm saying.
So maybe on some levels it's a comparable execution outside of Not Like Us, and I can see that. But here's the thing about it, and we have to notice what's going on. People really do pick and choose their fruit. Here's the reality of the matter. If Joey would have delivered more on his promise early on, New York would be more thrilled that he would be coming back and repping New York like this. But I think a lot of people look at him like somebody that didn't deliver on his promise initially. And so they're like, oh, don't try to deliver on it now. But that's also not fair. No. You know what I'm saying? No. Because look at somebody, and not comparing him to this guy, but look at somebody like God rest soul. Look at somebody like a George Foreman. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Who, like, you know, was really about to go down as the greatest heavyweight of all time. And, you know, one fight pretty much sent him into obscurity for 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And he never really lived up to that promise. Like, people forget George Foreman was Mike Tyson before Mike Tyson. He was the baddest motherfucker on the planet. Mm-hmm. He whooped Joe Frazier's ass.
Yeah. But I think that's where Joey's age comes into play. He still has a lot of time in front of him. You know what I'm saying? I would agree 100% with what you're saying if it wasn't for Joey's age. Because he's still, based on his age, he still has a lot of prime left in him as an MC.
Well, that's what I mean about picking and choosing our fruit, because the real thing that I'm getting out of this is almost like, well, we know the West don't want Joey to win, but it's almost like the media, the industry, and even niggas on the East Coast don't really want Joey to win either. And I find that dichotomy to be a little bit fascinating because, well, quite frankly, as an outsider, New Yorkers are known for repping. And so when somebody steps up to the plate and reps, you think everybody would be like, you know, hey ho. But instead it's like, oh no, with a lot.
Because that's because of what the end result is. Like I said, Joey's voice gets louder and stronger, going from a whisper to a yell. The better he gets, the more, like, you know, like how many foot soldiers does Raphael got to take down before Shredder pops outside? You know what I'm saying? And this is like the guy who's been ascended to, you know, king GOAT conversation status in Kendrick. So of course, like, a lot of people don't want to see Joey ascend up in the ranks because that puts that in jeopardy.
Yes, but I haven't heard, as much as I've enjoyed these records for Joey, though, AG, I haven't heard a record that makes me feel like the Kendrick could come outside. And I've been probably more, quote unquote, critical of Kendrick, of anybody in this space. But that's because nobody in this space is critical of him except me. Yeah.
That is true.
I don't think nothing behooves him to come outside per se about what Joey said. Joey wants to just, like, prove that he can rap on that tier. Like his album 2000 that came out a few years ago, he said on the intro, the baddest, he's like, who's the best MCs? You know, Kenny, Joey, and Cole. He put himself in that the same way Jay put himself in the conversation with the same line back in 90, you know what I'm saying, 97.
But he has no volume 1. He has no Where I'm From, Imaginary Players,
Right.
Squadron. He doesn't have.
That's separation.
Right.
He doesn't have the evidence to back it up. Here's what he does have, though. AG, with the Red Bull Spiral, that is Big Sean right there. And
Right.
we've had many conversations about how Sean's probably not Mount Rushmore for this generation. Like, because for me, you would have to think, of course, Cole, Drake, Kendrick. Then you go Future,
Nicki.
Mm-hmm. But then you would go Sean, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, he did stun on Sean a little bit, and so he ain't like.
He stole
that's
the
what
show.
I mean. He ain't as far away as people treating him, but I still don't think it's enough to get to the tippy.
You're exactly right with him not having, a volume 1, a Reasonable Doubt, but that's kind of the point of it. He's building his legend out right now. He announced his album going to come out in August. So I think if that is a great album to a classic, then he'll have more cachet in the matter. You know what I'm saying? But right now, as it stands, he don't have quite enough. But we're seeing it develop in real time.
He's also a victim. He is also in a lot of ways a victim of this era from the perspective of some of the shit that he is saying is going over people's heads because of who he's not.
Yeah,
like
he doesn't. He's not accompanied by cachet. Like you just said,
right.
He doesn't. Joey doesn't have a signature album that everyone can go to or most can go to and say, "Yo, that's the one." To put him in that category.
1999 is pretty tough.
Moment either. He doesn't have a signature moment either.
99 is dope. It's not a signature album though.
It's just solid. It's just good.
It's a solid, dope album.
You know what I think hurts him though, Sean? I think it's because he reminds us of traditional throwback New York, and that's not what's popular right now. He appeals to us because that's what we came up on, right?
I'm speaking. I'm not speaking for myself. I'm speaking for the populace. The popular vote. The popular vote. He shouldn't even be. He's not even in the same breath as King. Like, there's no reason for Kendrick to even respond to any of this. You know what I mean? I love 99. I love 1999. Straight up. I love it. I love it. I think he's rapping on 1999. But it's not a signature album. It's not one of those albums that we can go back to and say, you know what? That's one. Put it like this. You guys always talk about Freddie Gibbs. If Joey had the catalog that Freddie has, I think this conversation was shifted just a little bit because now he has something to back it up a little bit more.
I agree.
If he had Freddie's catalog, he would be probably 4th or 5th from this era at worst.
I agree.
At worst. And actually, we probably need to put Freddie in this conversation for this era somewhere too. He might deserve to be
he's older than all these cats, but yeah, he's the same era. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because essentially his solo career started about 2013-ish, right?
But Sean, I like that point, but I'm still going to play devil's advocate, right? Did Bleak have a moment to call out Nas and Nas respond to him on a few tracks before he took on Jay? He smacked Bleak around a lot on a few tracks. Nas responded to him as high on the top as Esco was. He still took the time to respond to Bleak and smack him around before Jay said, "Okay, it's time for me to step in and handle this."
But
he leaned into that.
But
I think so.
The jabs were minimal.
Yeah.
And
he addressed Bleak on like 3 songs though.
Yeah, he did. He took about 3 jabs, but also too, it wasn't a high point in Nas's career. He might have been going platinum, but it wasn't a high point.
No, he wasn't where Kendrick is right now. No.
Right. So how about this? Streets was talking about Nas around that time, so he had to respond like to that because that was the street. The Streets was like, no, nigga, we haven't seen you in a year.
All right, I got a rebuttal to that. People are talking about Kendrick being on tour. He shouldn't respond because he got bigger things to do. Now, granted, people forget that when Kendrick came out with Like That, Drake was on tour, you know what I'm saying, with Cole, and they was like, Drake, you on the clock, right? But I digress. But people saying Kendrick too big to respond, he's doing the tour. If y'all remember back, y'all tell me this. Jay-Z was headlining Summer Jam at the peak of his powers in 99, and a virtually unknown 50 Cent had talked about him on How to Rob, And then Jay got on stage in front of all those people and said, I'm about to dollar what the is 50 Cent. He took the time out to do that. But Jay's petty.
But see, AG, here's the thing. You got to think about the time. That time versus the time that we're in now it's a totally different time frame.
It's different. It's different.
So stakes are different.
And AG, Kendrick's an uppity ass nigga.
And Jay's not. Jay is not as uppity as they get.
Jay, see, no. See, Jay is very, very hood. Jay just likes nice shit. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Jay's hood, he just likes nice things. Like Jay likes the finer things in life. But he's still very hood. Kendrick's a little uppity. Like you do yoga in the morning and shit and go drink hot tea.
Jay did Tybo.
Yeah, that was in the afternoon. Yeah. After running business meetings for 6 hours, he was
Tybo. 36 doing Tybo.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
I get what y'all are saying, but it sounds like a lot of plea copping for Kendrick though.
It's not over here. He be over here. I'm telling you, the hoteps have gotten to him. They've taken over. It's ridiculous.
But I feel like we're doing a lot of Joey talking, him challenging the top dog. I think he's putting his name in the conversation to be a challenger. I just don't like the energy when Kendrick called out everybody on Control. It was like good for hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's in a competitive spirit. But when Joey shooting at the top spot, it's like, oh, you clout chasing, you doing this, you doing that. Like people not consistent. It all depends on who the messenger comes from. I try to be consistent, like no matter who it comes from or who it goes to. And I think that's a lot of the fault with a lot of fans because, you know, on one hand, you'll say, well, this is allowed. And on the and you'll say like, nah, he don't have no right. It's unjust scales. Like when Game was calling out Eminem, I'm like, yo, M need to respond. When Joe was making 50 diss songs, Joe Budden was making 50 diss songs to Drake, I felt like Drake needed to respond. When Young Noble came out with that whack diss song to Nas, he ignored that. But I was like, if he would have kept coming and made about 3 or 4 more, he shot himself in the foot. But if he would have made 3 or 4 more, then I'd have been like, yo, Nas, come outside and like handle this dude. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm keeping that same energy. I'm not going to cop no pleas for Kendrick and say, he just went through your whole label and you don't need to come outside.
Let me devil's advocate some of the things that you brought up.
Just let me say one thing, Coop. I hate Taylor Made, but you know what I'm saying? Right now, the way Joey went through the TDE in the West Coast, that one line is ringing true. Kendrick, we need you, the West Coast savior. like that line's coming true right now.
First of all, never call him a savior, because never forget, I can't please everybody. I can't please everybody. Never forget that shit. Never forget he said that shit on record. So I don't want to hear about no savior. All right? I want to hear about no Mr. I can't please everybody ain't no savior. Okay? People who are saviors don't say I can't please everybody. All right? That's the first thing. Okay? Let's backtrack some of the things that you brought up. And this is what I mean about the quality of record that Joey hasn't made yet. And this is what I mean about Streets is Talking. Oh no, Got My Mind Right might be Bleak's best record, and he is fucking
his best record
on that record.
You're right. It is.
Got My Mind Right wasn't just some regular record. That shit was popping in the streets.
It was either that or Hypnotic.
Right. That shit's hard.
Yeah, it's either that or
Hypnotic.
Hypnotic.
Go hard. Got My Mind Right go hard. Yeah, it might be Bleak's best record. I think Hypnotic with Jay and Bleak is up there too, and he's got a couple other records. But
word to Bleak, man. I'm the Bleak apologist.
Got My Mind Right was ringing off on the streets. It was on the Clue mixtape and like all that. Oh no, it was live in the streets. So that's what I mean about it being different. The same thing. Hold on. What's the other one that you just referenced, AG?
Oh, the 50 Cent and Jay-Z thing? How to Rob.
How to Rob is popping in the streets. Yeah. It is. It was popping in Greensboro. And it was on another soundtrack. It's on the In Too Deep soundtrack, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like Jay's not liking that because this is during Jay's come up. So like Jay and Nas had to respond to those things about the quality of the record and the fact that the record was popping in the streets.
So you don't think nothing Joey put out so far is on those levels?
No, none of these records are better than How to Rob or Got My Mind Right.
Okay. Wow. That's fair.
Do you think that one of these records is?
For me, no. but those were great records that had diss bars within them. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, How to Rob is just kind of like a playful thing. You know what I'm saying? But Joey's putting out diss records. Those were just great records in and of themselves, if that makes sense.
But that's what I mean. Like when dudes make great records and they talk about you on the records, niggas be like, you know, fam? No, you ain't gonna let a dude talk about you like that, right?
Right.
Hey, you know.
So
you know they was over there clowning you the other day, right? You know they dropped the record in the tunnel, right, Nas, and they was like clowning you and like they was up in there popping bottles and talking shit to the record, right?
Yeah.
Like you gonna let that shit slide, fam? Or you just gonna let these niggas go pop bottles in the tunnel to the record and shit? Be like, oh, okay, no.
Right.
It was a different time. Let's get the super chats real quick. Let's get the super chats.
CJ the Kid with the $5 super chat. I need you guys to pull up that ladder to ask AG how far up the ladder Joey progresses. Mickey Facts co-signed the ladder. LOL. Sorry, Christopher Hogan. Did I miss Christopher? My bad. Christopher Hogan with the $1.99 super chat. The problem is pro era not relevant besides Joey.
Agree.
That's a fair statement.
Yeah.
It's fair.
That's true.
Fair. That's fair. OJ Weston with the $4.99 super chat. The control verse was K-Dot talking his shit from the mountaintop. Joey's in the village rapping for notoriety. K-Dot wasn't on any mountaintop when control happened.
I don't know. He was pretty, like, people held Kendrick mad high even when that came out, though. That's a valid statement. He's been
held high for a long time, but I don't think it was some sort of mountaintop that he was sitting upon with no peer. Because that's also Drake's peak, guys. Like y'all, that's what I'm saying.
The West Coast handed Kendrick the crown on stage, like, you know what I'm saying, when Good Kid was out, like, you know what I'm saying, coming off Section 8.
But the rest of America like swears by Drake, and most MCs swear by Cole. That's what I'm saying. This is the same time that's happening. The MCs are swearing by Cole, the masses are swearing by Drake.
But at that time, Kendrick, of the three of them, had the most definitive classic too.
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, Drake fans are going to argue with you about that.
Because they can argue.
Because what year is the control verse? That's 2015, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Drake's got, if you're reading this, it's almost too late and so far gone, right? And he's got Take Care and Thank Me Later. Are you sure?
No, Thank Me Later, it don't need to be in there. I think So Far Gone and Take Care are the ones.
No,
and nothing was the same. Nothing was the same.
Drake fans will tell you Thank Me Later is pretty important.
Like, nothing was the same. I don't think that if you're reading this is out yet. I think Nothing Was the Same was out, but
hold on, I see your point. Hold on, when is if you're reading this out? Is that November?
I can't remember which month.
Okay. We'll have to check and see the Drake albums, because for a lot of people, Thank Me Later is better than Section 80, and I can kind of agree with that.
Now, Drake had more work for sure. He had a plethora of quality work, but Good Kid has been held at a higher standard than all the stuff Drake had put out to that point.
I mean, Good Kid, Bad City is a top 25 rap album, so none of these guys, nobody from this era has a top 25 rap album except Kendrick, and that might be what this is about.
The difference maker.
That is the difference maker, but that's what I've always said about Good Kid, Mad City. It wasn't To Pimp a Butterfly that's the difference maker. When you go back and look, you can go look at Good Kid, Mad City and be like, no, that's one of the best rap records ever made, and he's the only guy from this era to make an album like that. So
and you said it yourself. He built lore with in Cali with Section 80 before, because you said you lived in Cali at that time. So this is before Good Kid even came out. So like you said, he had that anticipation.
I wasn't living in Cali, but I was in Cali the summer.
Oh, okay.
Like I was in Cali. I went to Cali around the time the shit came out. I don't remember exactly when I came out, but as soon as I touched down, everybody that knew me was like, "Hey, you know Kendrick." And so that's all. Every motherfucker. My cousin was like, "Yo," he was like, "You heard that Kendrick? Play the Kendrick for Coop." Kendrick. Hey, Coop, you heard? What up, Coop? Good to see you. You heard the Kendrick? Yeah. So it was like that when we were just referencing Buzz. I referenced post DMX Kendrick's Buzz, because I did see that shit like
real time.
Jeezy and Game shit was like that. But even when I was in Cali, they was playing Game shit. When I was in Cali, they was talking about Kendrick shit. Like, niggas was running up on me like, you have to listen to this shit, Coop. I was like, I've heard it 17 times since I've been here, nigga. Leave me alone.
That's funny. But I'm glad you said Game, because I wanted to switch gears a little bit. That's a thought I had earlier. Really, the matchup, if somebody popped up out west Game and Joey would be a dope matchup. But if I'm Game just off principle, I'm not running to the defense of everybody on the West because he wasn't invited to that pop out show. It's like he's the one that's disowned over there. You know what I'm saying? They treat him like a redhead stepchild. So, but that would be the dope battle to see, like, Game and Joey. I think that'd be dope.
Nah.
But I don't want anybody to get it twisted. What I'm saying, we've talked a lot about Joey and how dope he's been rapping, but I think you pointed out real well in the beginning, Coop, because of Joey's just a better MC. He's been doing this longer, and he's just more polished than the other guys. Mm-hmm. But make no mistake about it, if you took Joey and put him in the arena with the acapella and had him go against DAYLYT, then DAYLYT would fare better in that arena and would probably beat Joey. Let's just call it what it is. Because when Joe Budden tried to do that against Hollow the Don, Joe's one of the best diss record makers there is. But when Joe went in that battle rap arena against Hollow the Don, he took an L. So, whoever has home court advantage, so to speak, makes a difference in these kind of things.
I mean, yeah, you can say that because DAYLYT's not really rapping on beats on these records.
He's like, not. Metronome. The last joint, in credits, he is. And that's pretty much like the Heart Part 6 waving the white flag. I hated that he waved the white flag over 2 Nas beats. But, Metronome. I mean, he was floating on.
But did he? Because this is part of who he is. That's why Joey called him a Comic-Con guy. DAYLYT does. Yes, he do these things because it's all a gimmick for him. That's why they call him Comic-Con. He come to the battles wearing Goku shit. Like this is who he is. So he could be, honestly, he could be trolling. He's done this in rap battles. He could be trolling. And again, that goes back to battle IQ. You know what a battle IQ is? If your battle IQ is low, you're going to misjudge what you need to do in the battle.
Yeah, you'll fall for the okie doke, yeah.
Right. His battle IQ is low because he thought that because I'm a battle rapper, this is a battle scene, I can come out here, I can bar him up over anything because he was perceived as someone who is similar to the boogeyman. You've heard people say.
So here's, but you want to know what he did? He actually hurt his stature some because what he did is he oversaturated himself in this battle.
Cool. He suffered the most. He suffered the most.
Ray Vaughn's records were better than DAYLYT's. Let's call it what it is.
Of these 195 records that these niggas just made, his 4 records are like 186, 145, 162.
Yeah, Ray Vaughan is dope. Ray Vaughn's was more impactful than DAYLYT's were. His punches were better than DAYLYT's were.
And that's not against DAYLYT. I know who DAYLYT is, but it's like
but if conventional wisdom would tell you that a battle rapper would fare better in these situations, then in that case, Meek would have beat Drake.
You know what this situation really teaches me is that the nuance of battle is really, I'm starting to realize, the people who really win the battles, the most rap battles, they're some of our most poignant artists in terms of the things they say.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Yeah. And so I think the ability, I think what people focus on in diss records is the ability to be fly and to sound fly. Mm-hmm. But sometimes our best people, it's the way these motherfuckers tell the truth. You get what I'm saying? There's something the way about our best rappers tell the truth when they're dissing somebody that stays with us. That's why we stick to No Vaseline. That's why we stick to Ether. That's why we stick to The Takeover. It ain't that they are doing necessarily some super lyrical, miracle, mythical, special stuff. Because if you think about those 3 records that I just named from those 3 guys, that's not any of those guys' top 50 verses, in my opinion.
No.
You know what I'm saying? From Cube, Jay, or Nas. Like, none of those diss records have their top verses. But what they have? They have the best piece of them.
Right.
And that's what the diss record is really about. And that's who really wins. And that goes to whatever your special power is. And in that way, it is kind of like a Marvel like kind of thing. It's like, whatever your superpower is, you have to use that shit in battle. And there's levels to superpowers. Like when Ice Cube is busting your ass, you are in trouble because ain't nobody been better at busting a nigga ass on the microphone, whether it be the government, the institution, the Koreans, a liquor store. You get what I'm saying? A nigga looking at him from the side of you get what I'm saying? Like when Ice Cube is approaching the mic with that type of tenacity, intensity that he has on No Vaseline, and he's got his eyes set on you, oh, it's gonna be hard to beat him that day. When Jay is conversational, he is the most diabolical motherfucker who ever lived.
Super power.
People forget, like, if you listen to those first 2 verses on the Takeover, he's talking to Prodigy.
It's crazy.
Like you talk to a nigga on the corner when you're battling a nigga. You little fuck, I got money stacks bigger than you. When I was pushing weight back in 88, you was a ballerina. I got your pictures. I seen you. He's talking to the nigga like he's standing on the corner with the nigga. Right. When he does that, and he is talking shit to you, he is arguably the greatest MC of all time. Unless you're the most poignant MC of all time. That's what Ether is. Ether is the most poignant diss of all time. Because Nas's specialty is doing oh shit. Like the stuff that makes you go, oh.
But Ether wasn't even like lyrical miracle. He got
no, but it makes you go, oh, but it makes you go, oh, and that's what Nas does well. Think about it. The first time you go, oh, he's not even rapping. The Tupac shit comes in. Fuck Jay-Z, and you go, oh shit. That's what Nas does better than any.
And then it's the hook.
He makes you go, oh shit. Ether's probably the first record that he made where you go, oh shit, multiple times, and it has nothing to do with lyrically what he is doing. It's like, oh shit, did he just do 2 hooks at once? It's like, oh shit, did he just use the Tupac sample in a diss record? It's like, oh shit, did he just do the whole Diddy Dame Dash breakdown? It's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. That's what he does well. He just usually does it lyrically. But in battle, that lyrical miracle shit don't matter. It matters what you do well.
Yeah. Yo, Coop, word, you smoked that, bro. Like me, Sean, and Evans, we had a conversation the other day, and I'm glad you brought this up because you smoked that. I want to ask y'all, like, we come from an era like when the diss records was more about skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm better than you, I'm nicer than you on the microphone, this and that. Like, I feel like reading the comments and stuff on Twitter, they like, you know what I'm saying? Whoever finds the worst information on the other person is who wanna win this battle. I feel like if you was born closer to 1990 and after, your mindset is like not who's the best lyrically and saying the most clever stuff. You're wanting to see more salacious information be put out about the other person. Yes. You worried about the condoms on the baby seat. You worried about the Summer Jam screen. You worried about somebody hiding a kid. You worried about like somebody being a PDF file. So I think it's skill versus salacious information. And I think this generation is more geared towards, I want the tea. Like, give me all the dirt on this person.
It is, but this is what I mean about your special skills. So when I talk about Will Smith, no, Will Smith should be one of the last rappers that you want to battle. You want to know why? He's funnier than you. And if he's
a great storyteller.
Correct. So if he starts picking on you and he starts picking on you well and making it funny with all of his followers, do you know what's going to happen to your career if you pick a fight with him and he really picks on you with his following? You feel what I'm saying? That's what battling is about. It's about utilizing what your special skill is. Well, his skill is his storytelling and his jokes.
Mm-hmm.
That's perfect for a battle. What if he start clowning you? What if he clown you to the 20 million followers on Instagram with your 555,000 having following ass talking about you popping in the streets? Pop out on Will Smith. You feel what I'm saying? That's what battle rap is really about to me. And so what I hear from these guys is a lot of shit talking, but it's like, my nigga, is this what you do well?
It's because they're going for shock value more than for the actual song.
Do what you do well. That's the shock value.
Yeah, there you go. Because fellas, think about this. Dre
like
Day.
You knew it was on. You knew it was on No Vaseline when he started playing on NWA shit. He was like, oh, and you just got done listening to him rap his ass off for a while, and you were like, oh, this is all bad for these niggas.
But see, that's when you have that merge, because you look at Dre Day. Dre Day is not a bar university.
It's what Dre does well, though.
To the point, right? You got a G-Funk era song. He's coming before he even says anything. He's
nigga. The video start out he opening up with the Funkadelic shirt. Yeah. Right. He's right.
He's letting you know.
There was a time when that was a top 5 diss record.
It was a time that was my number
Still
one
up
this
there.
record. I mean,
look, go to Easy with real motherfucking G's. No, that's Easy really chilling in Compton. Like, no, I don't think you understand. I'm Easy. I can really go
right.
chill in Compton.
I really do this. I
really do this because he knew that he wasn't about to beat Dre on no beats, and he wasn't about to beat Snoop on no rhymes. He had to go to Compton. Be like, no, we bouncing to this shit in Compton right now, like live in real time, while you niggas is chilling in Riverside, like
right. But see,
like
AG, that goes back to your point about Bleak and Nas. Even when Nas was going at him, he wasn't leaning into it. He didn't see Bleak as really something that he has to really respond to. He did it for the sport. He just really into it like he said, "Oh
it was
no,
dismissive." It was dismissive. Yeah,
he was like, "Yo, oh no, you didn't." You know what I mean? Like, who are you to say this to me? Who are you?
I mean, real talk. Nas has been in a lot of beefs, but Jay's the only guy that's got him to lean in. Nobody's gotten a real response out of him except for Jay.
One.
Not a legitimate response.
He didn't even lean into the 50 thing.
No, he didn't. He didn't. No, he didn't. But he didn't have no reason to.
Like he tapped him, like let him know, like, hey, you know what it is.
No, he talked about it. He's like, being worried about Jay and being worried about 50 is two different things.
And 50 piped down after that. You know?
And he's right, because also too, Nas ain't no dummy either. Oh, he would listen to the takeover too, like, oh, okay, oh shit,
I gotta do something. But he also downplayed it up until he didn't, because he was in interviews saying, "Nah, that was a good one. That was a good move. I'm good on that." And
the first time I heard that, I was in shambles. I was just like, "Yo, he don't need to downplay this. He need to do something ASAP." When I heard takeover, I was like, "It might be a wrap."
I was like this.
Sun Tzu said, "You know, you have to think like your opponent to defeat your opponent. So your opponent cannot know what you were thinking. You know."
Absolutely. But see, and Art, I see. Hold on, Art posted this, and he's right. Like, why doesn't Kendrick do it for the sport? I honestly feel, fellas, that we in a different time now. I don't think the stakes are as high today as they were then. Because then, if you made the wrong move, if you moved on the wrong person, careers are being taken out of here. Think about what happened to Prodigy after Jay did the takeover. Think about what happened in Cannabis when he lost the LL in the long haul. You know what I mean? He got a good hit on L, but after that, LL's consistency was crazy.
Okay, so let's pause right there, Sean, and let's go to this again.
Yeah.
Well, we all know second round knockout's a better record than the Ripper Strikes Back, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. But how them Cannabis records
I'm gonna concede, but I might disagree. But
okay. Even if you want to say that it's a wash, AG.
Yeah.
At best, yeah, I washed.
Okay. How them other Cannabis records sound versus how them other LL records sound around that time. And so this is what people don't understand what it's really about. It's still about the music.
Still about the music.
LL won because LL had better product out in the streets at the end of the day.
And Cannabis's album was trash.
It was trash.
Correct. Hold on. Everybody remember LA?
Yeah.
Well, people are like, well, CNN's rep. When people talk about Capone and Noriega, nobody talks about LA. Everybody talks about the War Report.
It was followed up with the War Report.
It didn't look like it was clout chasing because they dropped the War Report. It's like, nah, I ain't clout chasing. These niggas really repping New York. They really make
that's why I think Joey's album in August is so important. Because, you know, if he don't include none of these disses on the album and we just get great material, then that you know, helps his plight a little bit, I think, you know. But
the fact that you call it a plight is part of the problem.
Elaborate.
It's not supposed to be a plight. He's supposed to be in pole position. He's the best MC. You're not supposed to have a plight right now.
Well, he's not the best MC when he got his eyes set on Kendrick. He's not the best MC, but these other guys, he is.
No. I'm saying of all the people that have entered this fray, he is sitting up atop of this right now. I mean, I'm more interested in why New York isn't getting more and more behind him. It's not like you have the Knicks to get behind.
Whoa.
Well, you know,
necessary. Cool.
You like that? You like how I got that in? You like how I got that in? Was waiting on the show for the opportunity. I like how we didn't talk about any sports to start the show. Like nobody wanted. Like how you wanted to wear your Met shit today.
That was pretty diabolical.
You wearing your Met shit on game number 50. These niggas got another 100 games. look here. The way the Knicks played, the Knicks only got 3 more games.
That is crazy.
But
The team sucks.
That is
but
wild.
Coop, what I'll say to that is, like, if I don't know, man, like Joey is the best rapper, amongst these guys, right? But he
Right.
has his sights set on the bigger target. And what I think is, as great as Joey's rapping right now, if you brave enough to call out the top dog in the game, no pun intended, then I think Joey has an extra gear. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my homie, because me and him had this conversation and he's the one that said this. So I'm still in his bars. But Joey has to have another gear he could tap into if Kendrick decides to answer that call. We think Joey is doing his thing right now, but you don't throw rocks at the throne unless you know you sitting on something like dope. You know what I'm saying? Do you really think Joey's going to use his best bars that he could come forth with these TDE like B and C level players?
Now, the flip side of it, after the King has won a battle and returned home, he does have free time on his hands. So who's to say that the King has not made records himself, just in case?
I like the term you use, king, because you fat from all your spoils. To quote Nas, you get the king's disease. You might not be hungry like the other guy.
And you doubling down on this.
Okay. And what I will quibble back with you with is that's exactly why I didn't pick him last year. And that's why these niggas owe me a jacket that I don't even want anymore. All right.
Obia.
Yeah. I bet on the fact last time around that he was fat and on his spoils and not doing it as well as he could. But really what happened is that people like me talking shit and Drake poking at him, even if he wasn't acting, it got him active and he got his rhythm real good, real fast.
Yeah.
So
my whole thing is,
so now I ain't even gonna front. It's some fuck with him if you wanna, but I wouldn't advise that shit.
and that's dope. You're keeping it objective saying that, because you've been the most critical of him, and I love that. So don't get it twisted. But all I'm saying is, he really has a disdain for Drake. I want to see, because this is why people wanted Cole to engage. Because if Cole would engage, it wouldn't be about like who's the worst character. It would have been about who's the best rapper, who has the most skills. So when Joey would go at him, he doesn't have that disdain for Joey as a character. You're going to have to approach it with just bars and like really show as a wordsmith you're the best. You know what I'm saying?
But
yeah, okay, so
motivation.
So when you're talking about the motivation behind the scenes be real. So let's go to some key moments once again. Well, Ice Cube felt like Eazy-E and Jerry Heller stole money from him. Well, he felt that way, because they
this is not personal.
Money for
this
him.
is
Well, that's the type of thing that gets you fucked up out here.
Right.
So, yeah,
but this is not person. This is a display of skills. And what did Kendrick say? You say my name, I promise you'll see Candyman, right?
See, here's the thing about it though, is that, and I hate to say this, is that, well, unfortunately, most of our best disses are when it's personal, and that's why this really isn't leveling
Absolutely.
out, because it's not personal, and that's why I'm trying to highlight it. So let's go down a couple other things. Well, Mobb Deep may drop a gem on him, because at the end to hit him up, Tupac spoke to Prodigy having sickle cell. It was like, oh, hold up, did he just talk about my health? It's like, no, that's the what? Flag on the play. We got to get out this nigga.
I didn't really like that, and I'll tell you why. 50 uses that tactics on records too. I didn't like it.
All fit.
No. I'm not talking about the subject matter. Pac got away with just ish talking at the end of record versus putting that into bar form. You see what I'm saying? It's more a talking point. 50 uses that same tactic on diss records. Like, I'm more impressed with somebody who can flip that with bars and wordplay than just talking on the record dissing you, if that makes sense.
But I told you hit him up is overrated. Hey, look here. If you think, and I don't care what anybody says, and listen what I'm about to say, and I'm going to be very delicate with how I say this. If you think that Jay's personal relationship choices didn't have anything to do with Nas's response,
oh, absolutely did.
You're not being honest with yourself as a man. I'm going to tell you some real shit that happened to me that made me realize how real that shit was. A motherfucker that I used to work with hollered at my ex-wife. And she told me. And he talked a little shit about me, and she told me. Now, we haven't been together in over 5 years. I don't give a fuck what this motherfucker do. But the fact that a motherfucker that I know knew who I was and put, oh no, in the back of my mind, that shit did something to me. And it's almost like, oh no. And I told her, it's like, oh, well, I don't need to see him out here. Because that's a problem for him if I see him like out here in real time. You know what I'm saying? And me and her over 5.5 years removed from even being together. And it was like, oh no, he doesn't get to do that though. So he might get himself fucked up out here if I see him. Have a good night. Click.
But yeah,
now imagine what happened between them. You get what I'm saying? Our best battles, our best battles are based on the shit that we don't see or don't hear. You know what I'm saying?
I guess I'm just cool with it not getting messy or have to go into a messy personal place. I just want to see competition and skill and two guys rap.
Like down here, oh no, Shawty Low was testing Tip's credibility on a level you motherfuckers city don't understand.
Right.
Like niggas in the city is walking around like, damn, Tip, you gonna let that nigga do you like that, nigga? Like, no, talking to him when he would go out like that. Like I seen it happen one time. Yeah. Like, hey, you gonna handle that shit with Shawty, right? You know he out here talking big shit, fam. Talking about he run Bankhead, you just fucking little. Talking about you a little nigga. That's all that shit really cranked up. Like niggas in the street was telling Tip here in Atlanta, be like, hey, you know he talking about you like you a little nigga, like you just a front man, you just a camera nigga. You know you ain't. He said you ain't no real street nigga. He said you ain't really out here, ain't really never did nothing. You know they talking about you ain't never did nothing out here, Tip.
It's nothing. It's nothing personal between Kendrick and Joey. But you don't think Joey smacking around his label mates is personal enough? No. Because I think Joey looks at Kendrick, and this the honest to God truth. Everybody done seen Rocky with Clubber Lang. I think Joey approaching this like Clubber Lang looking at Kendrick like, yo, you a paper champion. You took down somebody who's not even like really a lyricist like that.
Hold on.
I think that's how Joey's approaching the situation.
Hold on, AG. If you slap my man, and you think because you slap my man, you can walk up and slap me, that's the shit that get niggas shot every day. For real. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can think that if you want to. You think because you slap my man, you can come up and slap me. It's like you think that shit if you want to. My man might have different situations, circumstances go on. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had a situation
Joey got his hand open.
I had a situation one time. Where the shit was really, really about to go down, and I had to grab a nigga, and we had to stop and pull the nigga away because I knew the nigga was on probation, and if I didn't grab him and pull him away, he about to go away for 3 years. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't really like know when you right there. Like that's different. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's never fair to like assume that because you chump this nigga off, you about to go chump this nigga off. That's that shit that Jay thought when he did what he did to Prodigy and then tried to slip that little shit to Nas. That's that same shit that got his ass whooped. Right.
Yeah, that didn't work.
Yeah, but it don't never work when you do that. It's like, oh, I'm gonna give it to your man's like this, and I'm gonna give it to you like this, and then your man's be like, oh, you give it to me like that, I'm gonna fuck this whole shit up. I don't work the way my man's work.
That was wild. Yo, let's on that one. Let's get the super chat real quick.
CJ the Kid, Good Kid, Mad City, better than B or Moment of Truth. Actually, I have a little fun segment that I want to do when we talk about It's Dark and Hell is Hot. So we're going to talk about that shortly because those records that you just bought up are going to come up. Mad Max, nice of you to finally show up. Joe ain't even have the best diss. NYC Caution did.
Who?
Yeah, we're gonna get to the ones nobody listened to again.
Okay. Okay, it was like 57.
You sound like old boy with he said I'm Star Lord. He was
like 57 records.
You got to stop this, man. And
Jack in the chat.
I have the
Jack be wild. Y'all got to do something about Jack. Man. Jack be off the chain.
You can't control him. You can't control
that's
Jack.
The problem.
You can't. That's what I'm saying. You can't control Jack. Like
you just gotta embrace it.
At least he's not running live burner accounts like he was when I met him. It's like you're running live burner accounts. Like that's not my
Jack
account.
Is a symbiote,
I'm like nigga,
man.
that's your burner account.
Is a symbiote.
Your lying ass.
Symbiote, man. Jack is everywhere, man. Jack is Ultron, man. It's everywhere.
Okay, do we have anything to conclude this whole like beef conversation in these 17 songs? I want to shout out everybody: Rome Holman, AZ, Chike, DAYLYT, Curtis King,
That's cheap.
J1, Juice. That's wild. CJ Fly. You know what? Kai Cash, the Knicks in 6.
Can y'all see this? This is the letter that CJ sent to me.
This is crazy.
Mortal Kombat.
Yo,
Joey's moving up to the top, CJ.
CJ is wild, man. CJ, you happy now? I got to pull it up. Pause.
Yeah, but let's talk about those other ancillary disses. Like, were there any that stuck out to y'all that was really dope?
Well, before we pulled up CJ's Mortal Kombat from Hell list, Kai Cash, Knicks in 6.
Who is that?
Put that down, please. It's an abomination.
Who is that, man?
It's an abomination.
I'm glad. I like that one because I'm glad that he addressed Reason, because that was the one thing I was disappointed in Joey. I think Joey should address Reason because he called Reason out.
I didn't like the Kai Cash the first part of the record, but then the Tupac snippet came in. You know, I'm a sucker for Tupac, so anytime I hear Tupac, I'm like, hold on, that's Tupac. Pause. He used the Tupac snippet from Juice, and then the beat switch hit. In the second part of the Kai Cash record was actually the best record to me outside of Joey's record. The second part, though, not the first part. The first part of Knicks in 6, you can keep that. The second part, though, fire.
Yeah.
Little Tupac to sew it up on the end. Little Tupac never hurt.
Yeah, a lot of these joints, and DAYLYT was killing me with the titles too, man. He was them titles was damn near like Andre 3000's flute titles. Like, stop it. So, like,
oh man,
really, I was impressed with Ray VAUGHN, man. Like, Ray VAUGHN is really next up.
I've had to take because of this man making a flute album in the past year and change is ridiculous. No, I'm not forgiving him for this shit because I knew this shit was gonna happen with his pianist.
Ray GoldenEye was even a pretty strong record, but he leaned into the Diddy bars too much.
Was good. GoldenEye was good. It was a little oversaturated with the Diddy connection.
Right, and like he leaned into that too much. And how you going to lean into that one when your man DAYLYT is on Vlad TV saying the sus stuff that he said, and then he had the nerve to title one of his diss records "Ayo." So I'm like, yo, just stay away from the Diddy bars if you're on camp doing this, right? But
AG, that's what I kept saying about the battle IQ. If you don't have battle IQ or hip hop IQ when it comes to a battle, you do things like that because you're looking for that. You're looking for that reach at this point, right? When you got someone, he's on your neck at this point. Pause. And now you're trying to find something to get yourself back into the algorithm of the win. It's actually to get you in a better situation to be able to try to do some kind of shock value hit, and you're not even getting that. So now you're reaching for everything. Like you and Coop said earlier about Bleak. Shout out to Bleak. I don't want to keep saying like I'm getting on Bleak or whatever. But everything he was saying, it was just to pull his son out to say, yo, I can rhyme on your level too, because he was feeling himself. Like anybody else in hip hop, you should have that confidence regardless. But if you don't have that battle IQ, meaning the stamina that comes along with being in a battle, if you don't have that stamina, that separation is going to start by the time you get to that second or third song. And when you see someone like Joey who responded quickly right after that, and he debunked everything they said, like you said, Coop, they leaned heavy into that Diddy stuff. And Joey came back and said, yo, your man was also at the Diddy party too. So
that was a masterful deflection. I was there, but your leader was there. Yeah,
right. So
masterful.
He took the win out of your sale, right?
Yes.
So now where are you going to go to now? Because now no one else, they haven't dropped. Ray VAUGHN hasn't dropped anything after that.
Here's the thing about it. Here's the thing about it. They was talking shit instead of doing what they do well. That's my whole point. Stop talking shit. Do what you do well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Ray VAUGHN is a really talented cat. He's just in over his head.
But there's also levels to this. You can get leveled out, and that's what I heard. It's like Joey leveled a lot of these guys out to me. It's like I don't want to hear him go back and forth with these guys anymore. He's better than these guys.
Well, Sean, I want to hear you talk about something because we texted about this. Like you said, the stamina and battle fatigue. I think DAYLYT and Ray VAUGHN come from a place where, like, it's somebody that's arguing, well, as long as I get the last word in, I win the argument. They seem to have the approach like, if I release the most records, then I won. Like, though none of them were better than the Joey records. So you had a lot to say about the fatigue. It comes in the stamina you need to be in that type of battle where it's like rapid fire back and forth disses, like we seen with D Block and State Property and, Drake and Kendrick and all that. So can you speak to that a little bit?
I kind of think about what Coop said earlier when he used the George Foreman thing. You're talking about how many times you seen someone get hit in a matchup, and it does nothing. It does nothing. It's weighing them down, but it's not doing anything until they get that clean shot. No one in this battle, including Joey, has gotten that clean shot. Because you said earlier, he was asking, what's the motivation for Kendrick to come out? He hasn't seen a haymaker yet. He hasn't seen something that said, you know what, that touched me, that got my attention. Everything is all good. Those are great, but that hasn't got my attention yet.
Correct.
You know what I mean? You got to say something that's going to pull me out of my chair. Like, you got to say something that's going to get me to stand up. Because if it's not going to be something that's going to get me motivated to engage, I don't have the time to engage with a petty war that I have no invested interest in. Because
that's a fair point. Sean, can I add one thing before you go for it further? If Joey were to do that, I agree with everything you're saying, but if Joey were to do that, he would get called all kinds of clout chasey if he said something that would like really lure Kendrick out. You know what I'm saying? He's in a tough spot. He's trying to do it by proving himself by smacking around the TDE members, but he can't jump out the window and just say something flagrant about Kendrick just for no reason to lure Kendrick out, because that's too clout chasing.
I don't think it has to be flagrant. Look what Jay did. Jay said, you know who did, you know what to you know who. No one knew what he was talking about.
But it's flagrant. That's super flagrant.
That's what I mean.
One person.
Hold on. If he would have said that and the diss been whack up until that point, no response. It was the fact that Nas was like, damn, he did just body somebody that I've been rapping side by side with at a very high level for a very long time.
Yes.
He did just body him, like in front of all of us.
Yeah.
I need not take this man lightly anymore.
But that's why I respect Ether so much, because he still did that knowing that that's a card that Jay-Z held.
Well, hold on. I'm going to tell you what, too. This battle started with Nas being dismissive to Jay. Nas fans don't want to admit that. That's where this shit really starts. It's Nas's dismissive nature about Jay that cranked all this shit up. Jay took it personal. Jay didn't crank this shit up. Nas cranked this shit up with the I don't take you seriously enough to rap with you.
He thought Jay was a chump, and Nas didn't know how petty Jay was.
Correct. Found out the hard way. Right.
And he did it. He did it in a fashion where he still addressed the main target, which was Jay, and he used another song to address the auxiliary targets, which were Mega.
Oh, this is what I mean. Jay smart. Jay did what he did to Prodigy about Nas, not about Prodigy. Like, he knew that he was better than Prodigy at that point. He did what he did to Prodigy to show Nas, like, this could happen to you. That's why he ends the takeover the way, because you know who, but you know what, but you know who. He's being funny when he said, let's keep that between me and you. Yeah. That's almost him saying, you just saw me put a man up on Summer Jam in a ballerina dress. What other videos do I potentially have?
But he did respect who Prodigy was. Like, if he didn't respect who Prodigy was, Prodigy wouldn't have got 2 whole verses. Because Jadakiss and Jay had a problem then too. And then Jay said, Beans, you handle that. I got to handle Prodigy and Nas. He very much respected who Prodigy was, and he knew who Prodigy was. He wasn't Nas, but he respected who Prodigy was, or he wouldn't have got 2 verses.
Jadakiss isn't Jadakiss yet, and Prodigy is already a walking legend. So
correct.
Prioritize appropriately. But the vicious nature of it had more to do with Nas, in my opinion. As in, he didn't have to do all of that to Prodigy to beat Prodigy. He was a better MC than Prodigy anyway. Yeah, he was going to beat Prodigy anyway.
Right.
Like, he did that, like, to send the message. Who he's
Make an example. Make an example.
An example. Right. That's what I mean about, like, oh, your best rap shit is rooted in shit that ain't even really got nothing to do with rap.
Well, let me ask you all this, because we're making reference points to other battles in history. Like I said, when DAYLYT, if you think just because you're a battle rapper you're going to win in this arena, then if that was the case, then Meek coming up in the battle rap circuit should have easily beat Drake, but that didn't happen, right? So we're pulling reference points from other battles in order to talk about this one. But where would y'all rank Joey versus the West or Joey versus TDE in the annals of hip hop battles? Like, do you think it's close to top 5, top 10? Like, where do y'all have it?
I'm not even
But
giving
this
it a
was an
record.
exciting week.
Very exciting. I love hip hop,
Was
so
it?
it excites me.
Were you excited?
I was.
I'm not gonna lie. I was. I love hip hop. I love the fact that, you know, again, New York is New York things. I love that. I love the fact that, you know, he even brought in Loaded Lux on the end of that joint. Like, to me, that's one of the highlights of all of this, because, you know, the whole Lux and DAYLYT, you know, drama. You know, DAYLYT said some stuff like, yo, we already did a battle. Lux like, that never happened. Like, you'll sign the paper, let's do this battle. I love battle rap anyhow, so I love that circuit. So that's something that, you know, having Lux come on, and Lux actually killed that verse.
He did. And it was a hidden feature. Nobody knew it was going to happen. Like,
yeah. I love that aspect of it. Not going for it.
I think a lot of it got like, you know, because it's easy for a battle to teeter on corny. We talked about that with the Drake and Kendrick battle. I think all these records that nobody asked for made the whole thing kind of teeter on corny a little bit. Yep. Just kind of like with the Drake and Kendrick thing, you got Rick Ross chiming in and stuff like that. But it's like, if you could sit through all that and focus on the like top tier stuff, this was one of the most exciting weeks we've had in hip hop, man. I'm not going to say it's a top 5 battle situation or even top 10, but what I will say, this is, you know, since last year, you know, with the Drake and Kendrick thing, this is a dope undercard situation, even though it's well after the fact. To me, this is like when Jay-Z and Nas were going at it, that was the big thing. And then the undercard was what was happening between D-Block and State Property if you was tapped in to the mixtape circuit. To me, this is very much of that ilk. It's not the top dogs, no pun intended, but it's exciting to hear these guys release these records back and forth, man.
It's my humbug. It's my humbug. No, it's not. Get off my lawn. Mad Max. Oh, God. Here we go, Mad Max. Ray Pawn, the dot agent, got exposed by NYCK, caution about lying about his age. Born in 93, but saying he was born in 96. He don't got no future. He need to go back to carrying Dolce umbrellas. Why do we let this man talk?
Yo, Mad Max is a tyrant, man.
Why do we let this man talk?
Yes.
Yo.
Do say Falco, $10. I actually agree with Max, 100. Don't you ever
super
do
chat,
that.
a super chat just to say you agree with Max as well.
That is wild.
The fact that you actually paid money to say that you actually agree lets you know how much of a terrorist this man is.
Yeah, that is wild.
I got one more question for y'all, and then we can close up or move on or whatever.
I want to ask Coop something, because Coop had asked a question about who from New York was going to jump in, who's going to like add on. Who can add on from New York?
I think that's y'all's fault. I'm pointing at you, Sean, because y'all disown Griselda.
No,
y'all don't claim Griselda like that.
They don't.
They're from upstate New York, but you can't put that on me. Put that on Jar. Jar was in the chat. Just not put it on Jar. Ray Jar.
Wow. So why would you just try to
pass I put that on all New Yorkers.
That's because shit. That's some Queen shit to try to pass it to Brooklyn.
I pass it to Jar. The Jar said, he was like, yo, 5 of you are foreign. What is he? What 5 of you foreign?
We were doing our Queens list. Yeah.
What 5 of you foreign going to do, Jar?
Not Queens list, Brooklyn. My fault. Our Brooklyn list. But that's the thing. I don't see any other New York MCs that would like really jump in, that's really holding some weight right now, except for the Griselda crew. And it's not their fight. They cool with the TDE camp for what I know, but they're the ones that's been like keeping New York hip hop alive for these last handful of years. But really, the city don't claim them like that. No. So this is the exact situation of what I was saying with Game. Game don't need to jump out the window for like TD and the West Coast dudes, because they don't claim him like that. So
they don't.
The city, New York City rappers don't claim Griselda like that. Flex didn't even want to play him. So why would they jump out the window?
Bingo. Hey, look here. All them TDE niggas was quick to get on Game's albums before they shit was popping. And I ain't never seen Game on any of their albums, and that's a travesty.
Yeah.
That shit is wrong.
That shit is wrong. It tells you
Kendrick, Cole, I'm sorry, Kendrick, J-Rock, Q, all been on Game shit.
Yep.
Do they? All right. I'm glad you brought them up, Coop, real quick.
He done put all them niggas on his records.
He did.
Kendrick don't come outside,
And he
hypothetically,
still done
right?
sold more records than all the niggas except for Kendrick.
Oh, big facts, big facts.
And it's not
Does
close.
Schoolboy and J Rock come outside? If you say Kendrick don't, do Schoolboy and J Rock come outside? Absol was already standing beside him in the freestyle, so we're gonna cancel him out.
Real talk. I don't even know how active Schoolboy and J Rock really are anymore, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, Schoolboy just came out with an album like a year and a half ago, bro.
Right, and it's the only thing that he's made in about 5 or 6 or 7 years. Like I said, the same smoke that I give Kendrick, I gotta give to his man, even if I like his man shit more.
Well,
Because I love me some good old West Coast gangster shit more than I love to hear some West Coast, like conscious, like East Coast-ish, Midwest-ish hybrid rap that Kendrick does. I'd rather listen to Q when I want my West Coast shit, but the reality of the matter is that the last time I got a West Coast sounding album from Q was Blank Face. That was,
okay.
fam, that's about 7, 8, 9 years now.
That's fair.
Oxymoron and Blank Face and Crash Talk came out in a whole nother era. I love Blue Lips, and Blue Lips is dope as fuck.
Blue Lips is fire.
Yeah, no, I love Blue Lips. I love Q shit. Q's never made a bad album in my opinion. He's one of the few rappers walking around that can say that. But also too, when I listen to Blue Lips, I listen to somebody that's like probably a different space in their rap career. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like I don't hear the guy.
It's just a thought.
I don't think about it. This is the guy that really is responsible for Cole stepping out of the battle. He's the one that stepped to Cole and was like, "Hey." So
it's just a thought because these other guys, like, you know, for CJ's Jacob's ladder that he the graphic that he put up, they would be the next on the ladder. So,
what do you guys think about this comment? I saw this comment. What do you guys think about this? It's from Kim Green.
Can you read it out?
Can y'all see?
Then, from what I've been told by the West, they were told this back and forth was supposed to be a little sparring with bars, and they feel betrayed by a nigga they have put on multiple times. Ooh, see,
Kim, tell us
see
more.
this is where the clout chasing part of it be coming funny to people. Be like, oh, I thought we were just having fun with this because Joey and Ab was having fun with it on the Red Bull Spiral. That's why I liked it.
Yes.
See,
but to me, that's why DAYLYT's in credit.
You're dealing with too many people. You're dealing with too many men. You're dealing with too many emotions. Artists are emotional. It's an emotional sport. It's an emotional game. These coasts have emotional ties that are not healthy historically. The West Coast has always historically felt slighted by the East. The West has always felt like, well, nigga, you niggas may have started it, but we sell more records than you. Yeah. And they would be right when they say that. Sell more records than you niggas.
I always felt like things had potential to go
outside of It's Dark and Hell is Hot. Volume 2, Get Rich or Die Trying. New York don't got shit on the West Coast when it comes to selling records.
Yeah, they've sold more records, but
not a goddamn thing.
I always thought that that DAYLYT had the most potential to make this situation go left, but if you listen to what he's saying on end credits, and you know, Sean, you're pretty much saying he's capping and trying to, like, you know, maybe troll a little bit, but him saluting Joey and talking about what the battle was and him showing love to New York and all that, it seems very much like this was a sport activity. But he at the same time had, you know, what he was talking about earlier, you know what I'm saying? He's talking about some people's man's that's deceased, and so he had potential to make it go super far left. But
really good.
On end credits, it sounds a little, the tone is a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was a display of skill. It was dope. I salute you. You took on all of us. I mean, who couldn't salute Joey? Who wouldn't salute Joey for that? Joey was like Cam Newton when he got jumped, like just boxing on him. You know what I'm saying? It was off of him. So
I'm petty. I'm petty. So I'm gonna keep on going because I'm petty. But I feel you.
But the last question I did have was for Sean, as a New Yorker. As a New Yorker, what Joey did just now, because I think it's clear to say that he won. I mean, some people will say that he didn't, but I think it's clear to say that he won. The feat that he pulled up,
winning.
I mean, the feat that he pulled off with this, even though it's not the higher tier guys in rap, it's just the fact that he was able to fend off so many West Coast rappers. Where does that take him in the New York annals of hip hop? Like, where is his ranking now? Like, if you putting him up against a Fabulous for New York hip hop or Cam for New York hip hop. We know he ain't Jay-Z, Nas, or 50 or any of those guys level. Where would you say as a New Yorker, Joey's that moved up in the ranks?
I think it's to be determined. I think this album plays a big part in that. If he does all of this, right, and drops an album that's just okay, it does nothing. It just was a moment. Because we've seen artists that have many moments and never move up the ladder, up or down the ladder.
Cannabis. We talked about Cannabis.
Hold on. Hold on. Let me ask you something, AG. Because you're saying these things. Think about this. Has Joey even had a Noriega moment?
Commercially, no.
No.
I'm talking about in the streets too. Like Noriega was the man for a minute. Like right around the time Fab and Nori. And think about this. Does he have an album? Does he have an album better than Nori's?
I love Nori.
Album?
Like,
think about this. Nori did most of the War Report.
And his solo album is a personal classic to me, but you're not about to tell me that Nori rap better than Joey. We're not going to do that.
This is what I'm saying, though. Like, and I hate to say it like this, that rapping better don't mean shit when you don't have the product to back it up.
But Joey is making good songs in the process as well. That's what y'all not admit. He's making great songs. This is what
I'm saying. It's not even Noriega level, though. So how much does it matter? I'm being devil's advocate when I'm saying this. I fuck with Joey. I like Joey. I just spoke to his versatility and how he's winning this battle because he's clearly the superior MC making the superior songs. But I'm also going to play devil's advocate and say that it's like, well, if you can do all this, you can't give me an NORE because you are a better rapper than Nori.
That's why I agree with Sean. That's why I agree with Sean's take. It's still to be determined. I think this album will answer the questions.
It might, but here's the reality of the matter. What was the bar seminar? Didn't you do a Joey and Nas for a bar seminar? Right. Think about Nori and Nas on Body in the Trunk. Where in the fuck is that? Is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a classic record. That's two totally different things.
But you get what I'm saying. So when you're talking about who Joey is, it's like, oh no, I hear everything that you're saying. But when you with Nas, well, when Nori with Nas, he make Body in the Trunk and make Blood Money Part 2.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? And
no,
so
I get that.
Rapping ass shit don't matter when you don't make Blood Money Part 2 and Body in the Trunk. It don't.
So you don't think the potential's there?
There becomes a point, AG, in every man's life, no matter what craft it is, no matter what he do, where it's not about your potential, it's about what you do. And I'm trying to tell you, it's like, oh, I like what I'm hearing, but he still ain't doing what he's supposed to do. And that's why people really ain't getting behind it. And they not till he do what he's supposed to do. If he's a better rapper than Nori, where the fuck was Body in the Trunk on the bar seminar? Because it's not
I get all that. But it was yes or no question. Do you think he has the potential to drop a great record or no?
See, this is what I'm saying. See, my answer is no, because I'm not in a potential place with him. His potential place is dead. We're in an execution phase because, like you said, he's been around a long time. So I'm not looking at potential for anything. It's about what you do. Imagine.
I think he's executing though.
If this is his execution, this is where he at, and this is where it's going, and this is what it's going to be. It's not going any higher.
The album.
You think that you think this is his ceiling? Is what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. If you're telling me this is it, then this is the ceiling. Yes.
No. I think, like I said earlier, my homie was talking about this. Like, he has to have a higher gear that he could tap into if he's bringing all this attention to himself. Because he started all this. Let's call it what it is. He started this whole motion. Man. So you don't do that unless you got something for the people that you can really deliver on. I don't think you.
Let's be fair. Let's give it a Griselda a level analysis from a New York perspective. If, based on what you're saying, his album needs to be comparable to Pray for Paris, From a King to a God,
that's fair.
Tana Talk 3, as in from the Griselda Collective, their respective best works. And so
I'm rolling.
So, and this is what I'm trying to tell you. I don't think it's about to be that. I don't think it's about to be better than either three of those albums that I just made. It's not about to be better than Tana Talk 3. It's not about to be better From a King to a God. It's not about to be better than Pray for Paris, because there's nothing he's doing that's telling me that I'm going to hear it. When those guys made those records, I could hear that shit coming, because you can hear it when a motherfucker coming like that.
I think we need more records that's not really diss related. That's just actually records like predicated on just him, doing his thing. But I think that's a fair bar to set for him. And I'm not saying he can't reach it, but the level he's rapping at now, I think that can be reached by him.
Because even the West Coast dudes, matter of fact, on the Reason records, he said, Griselda been keeping y'all niggas alive all these years. Actually, that's a West Coast nigga saying that.
That's an actual fact.
That's the outside perspective. So from a New York perspective, Griselda would be the current bar for what great New York rap sounds like. That would be Pray for Paris, From a King to a God, Tana Talk 3. Those three.
And that's a high bar because let's keep it real. Griselda ain't even hitting that bar themselves. They far from.
No, that's what I'm saying. They're struggling right now.
Yep.
With the legacy that they built in this era, live in real time.
Yep.
Yeah. So we'll see how it goes for him because he's actually coming from an era before them, with more. But he's a lot younger. He's a lot younger though. See, here's the thing about it, and this is what I mean about this is one of those things where that Nas run changed everything. No, I don't want to hear that anymore after that Nas run. It's like he's a lot younger. It's like, oh, I don't care. I don't mean shit to me no more after hearing those 6 albums. Right.
I guess we'll see.
Don't matter to me no more. It really is about the talent and the skill level. It is. It's about the hunger. When you're listening to those 6 Nas albums, it doesn't matter that he's approaching 50 years old. You're hearing a motherfucker that still want to rap his ass off. It's about how bad you want it. It don't matter how old you are.
You don't think Joey sounds hungry?
He don't sound like Conway on From a King to a God.
That's wild, bro. This Joey don't sound hungry, man. That is wild.
I'm saying, though, when you're talking about Joey being much younger, though, what I'm saying to you is that, like, yeah, he still don't sound as hungry like Conway on From a King to a God, though. Conway was like 35, 36, 37 when he made that.
Yeah, I mean, we get it. You're not buying in, but we'll see. We'll see.
How the last album go? Hold on. It ain't like he didn't drop an album in recent memory. How did the album go?
Yeah, a few years ago. 2000 was all right. It was a solid album. It was about a 4. I give it a 4.
AG, that's not even the top 25 album from the last 5 years. So
it's not. It's not even close to top 25.
Then it's not good enough for where we have him. That would be his problem. He keeps coming up short from what his talent is versus where the standard is.
That's the same problem like Cole got.
So think about this. This is how big the failure is. Well, where the fuck is his Forest Hills and Born Center and Friday Night Lights? Because he don't got no projects better.
Nah, he don't. He don't have nothing negative.
Got that. Think about this. Me, a North Carolina native, who literally has been getting my ass roasted for the past year and some change, live on air and in private about Cole. We talking about Joey. And I just named Cole's 3 best projects, and you just let me know Joey don't even have the 3 projects fucking with that. And we've been on Cole's ass about his projects. What does that say about Joey's shit?
Yeah, he don't. But
yeah, so his shit ain't like that, and it need to be like that. That's why I'm not agreeing with what you're saying. It's not that I don't hear the potential. It's like, oh no, I've been hearing the potential the whole time, and we don't have one album to reflect it.
But I just contextualize stuff in a vacuum because Jadakiss don't have the albums that Freddie Gibb albums have, but you can't tell me Jada ain't one of the best we've seen. Like, you know what I'm saying? So you got to put things in proper context. If you basing it all around projects, then that's one thing. Jada ain't got the Freddie Gibb projects, but Jada can rap his ass off.
But this is what I mean. Even when you slide Joey next to Jada, it's like, oh no, he don't got to kiss the game goodbye.
No.
Yeah.
No, that's what I'm saying. He don't have anything close to that, and we
he don't.
That's what I'm saying. We be getting on Kiss. We be getting on
Method Man. Yeah.
Right. Like Joey ain't made no fucking Tikal. Tikal's blowing 2000. Tikal blowing 1999, 2000, 2001, 2015, whatever fucking year he want to call an album out the water.
Fair.
421. Nah. 421 beat 1999.
Like, think about this. We Method Man.
Wow. So that is damn crazy.
Think about this. Think about where Tikal ranks within Wu-Tang Clan's solo albums, and he hasn't even made Tikal.
It's right after the pillage, but so you set yourself up for that one, Coop. So you set yourself up for that. But
Oh my God.
when we get this Joey album, we'll see.
If you niggas don't get Capadonna off this show for 4 full weeks for a
How about Bobby
fucking
Digital?
month, I want
You
30
say,
days. No, I
you
want
set
a
yourself
signed
up.
document. No, we are going to get a notary. There will be no Capadonna or pillage talk for 30 days.
What about Bobby
this
Digital?
show? Oh my God. When did
He
this
set
become
himself
a
up.
thing?
You did. Yeah, we got some super chat, fellas.
The pillage might be. Here's what I tell you. You want to know what? The beats on the pillage are better than Tikal. That's the problem. Oh shit, Mad Max. LOL. Maybe if they went crazy, we jacked them. But Capadonna ain't no goddamn Method Man. CJ the Kid with the 2. Is that 2.5? I'm blind as hell. I need new glasses. It's terrible. AG needs to ask if Doshi coming outside with scissor hooks on Joey. See. That's petty talk. That's petty talk.
CJ's an animal, man.
Petty. Mad Max still in the building. Mad Max, we're so happy to have you around, especially me the most. For real, it's not like NYC don't claim Griselda, but they 6 hours away, bro. Do the Bay or LA count each other? The LA and the Bay do count each other, motherfucker. That's that New York shit.
Why the Mad Max gotta be in
count each other? Yeah, they count each other, motherfucker. Mad Max, you talking Fab?
What is your deal with Mad Max, bro?
Yo, man.
Going off on Mad Max, man.
Mad Max. Terrence Hill TV. Terrence Hill, I'd like to thank you.
Oh, man.
Interrupting the Mad Max contributions. Fallen is my favorite Joey song. Him singing. That's part of the goddamn problem. Terrence, you worse than Mad Max. What kind of super chat was that, Terrence?
You're not helping the cause, Eddie, but we appreciate the super chat.
Listen to what Terrence saying. My favorite song when a nigga singing. Mad Max again. Joey a tourist rapper. His ish for Soho. The disrespect is real. I like the nigga better when he's singing and when he in Soho. Next motherfucking topic, man.
Yo, that is crazy, man.
That is diabolical. I like him better when he's singing and in Soho. So his next album need to be called Singing and in Soho, not 2025 or whatever the fuck else it is. More super chats. Chief him $5. Where can I send flowers for the dead that Joey bodied?
Yo,
that was funny. That was clever. You tried. He must be from Brooklyn. Chief from Brooklyn.
Chief got
Brooklyn
some
shit.
Chief
Yeah,
got
he just want to rep the borough. Can we
send them from TD East?
Can we cover some classic albums? Hold on. Did Kim step back up in here? Kim, what Kim say? I don't know if you were able to see my reply, but really quick, Les Malone called intro Curtis King show during the battle made reference to them shutting down the battle. Oh, okay, they shut it down. Okay, I mean, I'm all for shutting down battles if things are going too far. I'm just saying.
Yeah. If it's starting to get out of hand and they see it, especially East Coast and West Coast, got a little bit of PTSD from that. So if it starts to go a little haywire, then yeah. And hold up. Here's right here. Here's it right here.
Okay.
I felt that line. Yeah. Kim said
because of
about Pop Smoke and Biggie on their
West
coast.
Coast rappers killing all the East Coast rappers, and the consensus that they are shutting the West Coast down right now because they really feel that is how. Say less.
Yeah.
Say less.
Yeah. When I saw that, when I heard that line, I was like, yeah.
A little problematic.
Yeah. He wasn't wrong for saying it. He really wasn't wrong for saying it. But
I mean, think about this: like an East Coast rapper right now at his peak, even if they had Kendrick's following, wouldn't have got Kendrick's pickup. The West is different when they pick shit up. That's why I've been trying to tell niggas for like I've literally been trying to explain
more united.
I've been trying to tell people for like 20 years. It's like, nah, it's different when they pick shit up, because when they pick shit up, they boogie with it and they don't let it go. There are really niggas out there that swear by Easy. Like they'll stop you and tell you about the one time they met Easy and you are a hostage for the next hour. It is not a fucking game out there. I've been everywhere. I've never seen nothing like it in my life. The way they claim they own and rep they own, and when they show up, they show out. They do. Your biggest selling, like I guarantee you, if you pull up your biggest selling rap albums all the time that's not from Eminem, I guarantee you that like 60 to 70% of those albums are West Coast albums.
Yeah.
They are.
That's fair.
They just are.
Yeah.
Niggas different. They feel like that line is a real representation about the East Coast feels about the West Coast. It is. He's not lying. Then I heard today that they are waiting for Dot to come off tour for a nuke to be released. See? What I say earlier. Oh no, don't think that because he hasn't engaged it, he hasn't made records. Right.
Yeah.
Man, you could diss Joey on the GNX Deluxe. I'm here for it.
Yeah, please help us, K-Dot. Please help.
It's not. That's. I mean, see, this is the thing. This is where the West Coast. Think about this though. If this is Joey and Joey's numbers go up, what's the West gonna say? Oh, you needed us to make y'all relevant again. You remember, just like Cube and Dre and Snoop helped make you niggas relevant again.
But they can't. They will, but they can't say that because when Dot this Drake, his numbers went up.
They like West Coast niggas. You niggas needed 9 niggas from Staten Island just to start fucking with us. Like that's the shit they really be talking, right? And they're not wrong, right? It took 9 niggas from Staten Island to stop their run. It did.
Yeah. But Wu wasn't selling records like them, though.
Big and Nas and Bad Boy didn't stop nothing. Wu-Tang stopped it. Wu-Tang gave New York the investment.
Yeah, but they wasn't selling records like the West, though. The Wu wasn't moving units like that.
The investment, sowing seeds. It's like sowing seeds. That's what I'm saying. Wu-Tang is the investment. Everybody reaped the seeds of the investment, including Big and Nas. But
yeah, because Wu was out first. Yeah.
Correct. That's what I'm saying. They're the ones that really bought New York hip-hop back.
Right.
Yeah, like I'd heard Enter the Wu-Tang. I heard Enter the Wu-Tang from beginning to end before I even knew who Big was, and I was in Charlotte.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, don't tell me Big bought the East Coast back. It's like, oh no, niggas in Charlotte was talking about Wu-Tang.
I think when people say that, they're talking about from a commercial sense, not like.
No, they talking about Big Papa and One More Chance being on.
It was
TV.
more commercial, yeah. It was more
because don't get it fucked up. Ready to Die only did 1.5. It didn't sell that much more than Enter the Wu-Tang. Enter the Wu-Tang went platinum. Like Ready to Die originally only did 1.5, so it didn't like remixes. So it wasn't flying out the stores like that.
That's when those remixes start hitting. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying.
One More Chance hit. That's when that surge.
That's that. Yeah, but that's a year. What Ready to Die is June of '94. One More Chance is June of '95. Talking about a year later.
That's when that surge. Yep.
But it's all a domino effect because that set up Nas with the ability to go triple platinum on It Was Written. Because he had moved the most units out of New York out at that time. Yeah, because Biggie's album didn't go triple.
See, but that 3 was original was 2.5 at first. You know what I'm saying?
But Biggie didn't move 2.5 either.
No, Big didn't move. I mean, Big didn't move 2.5 while he
was alive. It's a domino effect. It builds up like from 93, 94, 95, 96. It's a, you know what I'm saying?
So this is how West Coast niggas look at it. It's like, oh well, you know. Our dominoes fell a little faster, you know.
They absolutely did. West Coast is known for dominoes, so
right.
We'll keep
That's
it
how
there.
they look at it. It's like, oh no, we was counting up the multi-platinum albums before you niggas even like.
Right, Warren G was going multi-platinum.
4.
And that album was crazy.
The glove. I mean, the glove that really wanted to remind me that it's like the motherfucker that really saved Def Jam is Warren G with Regulate.
Yeah,
that's really what saved Def Jam. Not Meth, not Red, not DMX, not J, not like Warren G would Regulate and G Funk Air.
But you know what I'm saying? We're gonna talk about this in a minute. Yeah. Even though the West was moving units, one of the main West spokespersons had to like come over on the East Coast, you know what I'm saying, to make a classic.
Hey, you wanna know some real shit though? That album sold the least of all his albums from this.
All of what you want to.
No. This is what I'm saying. When he made West Coast sounding shit, it sold more records because his people got behind it more. Yeah, that's the thing about it. America's Most went platinum, but Death Certificate sold more because it was more West Coast sounding because he picked the West Coast producer. Death Certificate,
a lot of that
better.
too.
Like Death Certificate is better, but it did better because the West got behind it more than they did America's Most because he did go east.
Right, because the West was still supporting NWA, and when you have a breakup like that, it's a splinter effect. You know what I'm saying? And more people stay home with NWA after that.
Niggas for Life outsold America's Most. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Not the better album though.
No.
And
Not
speaking
at
of
all.
which, good transition.
Yo, get the super chats real quick.
CJ
Super
the
chat.
Kid, Glasses Malone says Dot will reply. You're getting your wish, AG.
We'll see.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming out to appreciate and celebrate Joey. It's been fun. It's not a game. I'm not joking. I'm the biggest critic. I'm telling you.
Well, he can't win anyway just on the popular vote. You know what I'm saying? If we treating this like election, we
Shouldn't
know
ask
where the
him to come
popular vote is.
No, man. Listen here. If somebody is picking a fight with me and I can't beat them, well, I'm going to fight them just because you're not about to pick on me. But if I'm the motherfucker doing the picking, I ain't picking nobody I ain't picking fights that I can't win. What kind of shit is that? It's like if you come picking on me, we gonna squab. I don't go
But
out
that's
here
the thing.
looking to pick fights that I
Every
can't win.
rapper that picks a fight should think in their brain that they win. Like that's going
look here,
against the
man.
rapper mentality.
Look here, man. One of my bartenders, I'm not joking. This motherfucker is 6'9", about 250. When he came in for his first day of work, I thought my owner had hired a cyborg to come and kill me because he was mad at me. I was like, oh shit. I said, this nigga decided to do some gangster shit. He sent this motherfucker in all black to kill me. Motherfucker came in, walking in. He's like, you Coop? I'm looking up. I'm like, yeah. He's like, I'm your new bartender. I'm like, what's up, nigga? I'm like, no.
Wow.
I looked at him. I said, I thought you were coming here to kill me. I said, but I tell you what, I said, I'm never about to pick a fight with you. I told him just like that. As I looked up at him, I said, I'm never about to pick a fight with you. You want to know why? Because I don't stand a chance. Joey picked the 6'9", 250 motherfucker to pick a fight with.
Well, that's the difference. I ain't scared to fight anybody. Win, lose, or draw. Like so,
No. I'm not talking about being scared. I said I'm not picking a fight.
Well, yeah, that's a
Fear and
difference.
picking are two different things. As in, I'm not gonna be the one to start some shit with a 6'9", 250 motherfucker with my 5'10", 180 ass. No, and that's what he did. He deserves everything that's about to come to him. He deserves this.
That's a hell of a compliment coming for you to Kendrick compared him to somebody 6'9", but I digress.
Oh no. It's I mean, it's like that out here right now about him.
Yeah. Kendrick got the belt, man.
Yeah, he do.
Like it's no. Like it's looming large. It's a moment. Like very few rappers have had. It's like Thanos having the 5 Infinity Stones right now. Just very few rappers have held all the stones at once, and right now he's holding all the stones. Think about it. He got sales and numbers. No. Them shits is high. Sold out tours, hit records, classic disses, winning battles.
Yo, y'all mark this on y'all's calendar. I like this version of Coop because we're not gonna get Coop this complimentary of Kendrick ever again.
It's because my daughter graduated yesterday. Everybody's gonna get some celebration, even his motherfucking ass. But he's got it right now, and so it's like, no, you're not picking a fight with a regular motherfucker. How about this? The last time somebody really did have it like this was when Jay had it like this before Ether.
Yeah.
So unless Joey's about to make Ether, this shit ain't about to play well.
Well, Joey ain't Nas. Let's get that out the way.
Huh?
Joey ain't Nas. Let's get that out the way.
You don't have to be Nas to make Ether. Common made the bitch in you once, and nobody knew who he even was.
That's a good point.
Yeah, you don't have to be Nas to make Ether, but you got to make that kind of record, though.
It's the rhetoric. It's the talk. Like, put it this way, Ether.
He's put on himself.
But here's the thing, and we'll move on. But during the time Ether, like Sun and Jay is something that only a couple people walking the earth could do at that time. Like you got Nas that could do it, you got Kane, and then you got Jazzo. Outside of that, it wasn't nobody else rapping that could really Sun Jay at that moment. You know what I'm saying? So no matter what Joey does from a skill set standpoint, he can't come from a position like he's sunning Kendrick. He can't do that. Drake, tried to do that and failed miserably at it because Drake was instrumental in a lot of Kendrick's success, and people don't want to admit that. But
you want to know what? That's the smart part about Jay's move that nobody ever talks about. Well, there was nobody out there to sun Jay. First of all, Kane and Jazz ain't about to sun Jay on the mic. And he did pick a fight with Nas. when Nas was at his lowest point as an MC. It's the perfect time to pick a fight with a guy. It's like the only guy that can Sun you is at his weakest point, personally, professionally, life-wise. It's the perfect time to pick a fight with a motherfucker. Like,
You
that's
can't
what I'm
blame
saying
Jay.
about Jay. Like, Jay is smart. Jay picked the right fight. Like, people look at it like, oh, people remember Jay losing. Don't get it fucked up. He picked the right fight. He picked his best challenger at his best challenger's weakest moment. That's how we know that his challenger is better than him. He picked his best challenger
Yeah.
at his challenger's weakest moments.
What Nas
He
say?
didn't.
For him to be the Don, Nas had to go.
He didn't. It's not like he came and fucked with 96 Nas. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? He didn't come and fuck with that guy. He came and fucked with a guy who mama said he had already been messing with his baby mama. The record sales, it went down from 2.5. They went from, hold on, they went from 3 to 2 to 1. Like, he was down on every level. It's like, that is when you pick a fight with your competition if you're intelligent. Jay did
Yeah.
the smart thing, just picked the wrong motherfucker.
On the wrong day.
I think any day would have been the wrong day, but Joey. But what I'm saying is that, does Joey have any of that Nas shit in him? Do you think like any of that like squab in him? If Kendrick really come and like,
No.
Oh
No.
man,
I guess we'll see.
No.
Ill Magic Malone said Dot's bars will be sent to Joey soon. Sent. That's what we doing. We mailing bars to niggas now before we diss them. This shit is so delicate.
Oh man.
I hate these happy ass niggas. I hate this shit. Get on my nerves. Get off my lawn. No, really, get off my lawn. There are graduation signs and congrats graduate in 2025 and all this shit on it. Get off my lawn. Shit looked good. Took pictures.
Yeah. So, fellas, we got LT in the back.
Bring him to the front.
Y'all
Clan
ready?
in the front. Let your feet stomp. Niggas on the left. Rag shit to death.
What's good?
What up?
What's going down?
Look like
Can
you
y'all
fresh
hear
off
me?
work, sir.
Nah, not off work. But well, if you want to call it that, man, it's a lovely career.
Say less. How are you, brother? Good to see you.
I'm blessed, Coop. How you been, sir? Good to see you again, brother. I know you've been grinding.
That is the motto. That is the story. We are sticking to the story.
Yes, sir.
We're here to talk about you, sir. We're not here to talk about me. So tell the people what you have coming for them soon. That you have been so gracious enough to bless AG Sean and I with beforehand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So definitely, I got a new project, man. And again, you know, it's a few things I want to touch on, but I got a brand new project dropping tomorrow. And I got to shout out first and foremost. Let me shout out the people, y'all's lovely viewers, man, the real ones in the chat. I see some people I know, Super Duper, Shadarian, man, Poets and Rhymers, LP. I see y'all, Jack Lane, 007. All y'all, Miss LB, God bless, man. People's Champ back. Shout out Benny the Butcher, man. Black Soprano family. 8 a.m. exposure. Know how we rock, but I got the project coming for y'all tomorrow.
Talk to us a little about that, man. We had the, you know what I'm saying, you hooked us up with the exclusive pre-release version of the mixtape. And I gotta say, it's real fire, dog. Like, you know, you floating on a lot of those beats and, you know, the message, the lyrical, you know, display is there. What was your a lot of your inspiration that you used for the cover art and your direction was centered around dedication mixtape Wayne. So can you talk to us a little bit about that? You know, as being part of the inspiration.
Well, it's really because it's Sean's favorite rapper, so that's the reason. Now I'm just playing.
Wow.
So that but you know, we have a lot of conversations about Wayne. You know, y'all and I, and you know, it's like I hold Wayne in the top 5. You know, and I know we disagree, but just the quality, just the work, man, the consistency of work back when it was 06 through 08, 09, 2011. That was my high school years as well. And it wasn't like I was biased to Wayne because I actually had T.I. over Wayne at the time, but he just had such an impact, man. He had just such power. We used to listen to that before the football games, man, in the locker room getting amped, him and T.I. That was all we bumped. So the mixtape circuit, it's just like they don't do it like that, like they used to. The mixtape used to set up a big album back then, the 50 Cent, the Lil Waynes, you know, people like that. So that's what I'm doing. I'm bringing that cycle forward again, because in hip hop, everything recycles, man. And I know you heard it. Y'all checked it out. So, hey, I'm trying to do the best I can at that.
What is your goal as a MC and as an artist? I know you and I have had a lot of conversations in private of faith, and I know you to be a man of faith and a man of God and a devout believer. But tell me what your true mission and your message is. Like, what makes you? Because you do a multitude of things. I mean, you're you're a manager. You're a radio host, you're a father, you're a husband, like you're a multitude of things. But tell me what LT the artist, lyrical talent, what does lyrical talent the artist here for?
Man, basically just to spread the word of God. Like you said, you hit it on the net, hit the nail on the head. And it's just more than that though. That people get that twisted with like religion. That's not religion. It's not what I'm pushing. Religion divides us. That's not
Correct.
what I'm kicking. I'm kicking righteousness. I'm kicking progression. I'm kicking evolution. That's what this project is about. And I got a special announcement, of course, too, for y'all's viewers tonight at the end, or when y'all would like me to announce that. But that's my mission within everything I do. You know, y'all came to my city. I don't like to use the word hood, but you came to my town and you seen how it was. It's like no opportunity. Coop's a fellow North Carolinian. So what I'm aiming to push, and what I do push within the management, within the artistry, within A&R work, within even working with Benny and them, within all these artists nationwide, LA to New York to Atlanta to everywhere, man. I'm just pushing righteousness, progression. You don't got to tear people down or do deception or snakery in order to get ahead. That's the mission.
No doubt, no doubt.
I love it.
So your theme, you know, you use this catchphrase a lot, you know, playing off another phrase throughout the mixtape. You want to make America think again, right?
There you go.
Elaborate on that a little bit for us, LT.
Man, because it's watered down. It's people, the music that's coming out right now is compromised. I'm not no activist or none of this stuff. I'm just a real guy from Shelby, North Carolina, that's been blessed to get around the United States and help a lot of people like y'all guys. So when I say make America think again, man, we need music that progresses the dendrites in the brain. It gives you electricity. Let the thought particles connect and give new thoughts. You know, not just the same old regurgitated things pushed by the machine like a few of the current, you know, these top quote unquote rappers are doing. And it's no knock, man. God bless everybody, but just step your craft up. Matter of fact, I got a challenge. Let me say this, man. Hot take right now. Man, I challenge any artist out there today, any artist, all of your favorite artists in the chat. Y'all know them, we talk about them, any of them, to give the fans what they want, whatever what the people saying, because they wouldn't exist without the streams, without the merch, without the tour sale. It wouldn't none of that happen. They would be dropped from the label and be independent out here. So with that, give the people what they asked you to give them. I challenge any artist, and that's why I dropped this project coming tomorrow, because it's not about the money. I'm doing it for free, and this is a stream of revenue, but I'm giving it for free on this project. So that's it.
You can tell them where they can find it at, you know, the band camps and.
What y'all want me to make the announcement, the special announcement for the viewers right now?
Please do.
Please do.
Well, hey, I see a lot of people again in the chat. I see Master Lee. I see Poets and Rhymes, Art by Nobody, Miss LB, man. LP right there, Jadorian. He said he rocked with my music. Appreciate that. This is what I want to do for y'all, because y'all tapping into one of the hottest platforms, the hottest hip hop talks. I want to make the tape available to y'all tonight. I know it comes out tomorrow, chat. Y'all hear me? Tonight. When we get off when the broadcast ends, Sean will drop that link right there that I shared with these fellas for y'all to get that joint live exclusively for y'all. If you look at the date, it'll say May 23rd. That's when it releases, but I'm going to give it to y'all in the chat tonight. And tap in with track 2 or track 15 on there. If you don't know anything about me, you like, I don't know about that, tap in with track 15, and that's all you need to hear, the track 2, and I promise you to get you where you need to go.
So now, LT, I have some very serious questions to ask you, and I think everybody knows who I am. So, quite frankly, you've been putting together some projects for quite some time. This project's been very well put together. You haven't asked me for one verse. You ain't asked me for one verse. You ain't asked me for one verse.
Because you can't talk about debauchery on his album
everything
scope.
had been going, huh? No, I'm gonna be consistently who I am. I'm like, this sound great. I sound great if I would have been rapping over this. Hold up, he didn't call me for this track either. I'm like, hold up, he didn't call me for this track either. Like, you ain't called me for no verses. I got bars, son. Bars. I don't appreciate you. I don't appreciate you not calling me for any tracks about anything. Explain yourself.
True.
Explain yourself on Hip Hop Talk, sir.
Nah, that's not true, Coop.
Got bars.
I talked to Sean and AG, but mainly I talked to Sean when I told him I was gonna release a project, and I said, I don't know if I don't think I said anything about like you featuring, but I think Sean said he wanted to feature, and I said, I was shocked. I said, what, you want to talk on
First of all, Sean ain't got no bars. I got an album on iTunes. Sean ain't got no bars.
No. I got bars, about to borrow them up.
Here we go.
I actually sent LT bars and he asked me for a feature.
LT, first of all, LT, every black man I've ever met from Queens my entire life has told me that they had bars. I've yet to meet a black man from Queens.
Your defense,
that I said that if you ask a black man from Queens if he knows how to rap, he'd be like, I'm from Queens.
He's not lying.
LT, he might have fronted for me a little bit. LT heard my bars and he was like, yeah, AG, that was all right. I was like,
no, man, no.
Yeah.
You let AG audition?
No, man.
So AG auditioned for some bars.
Nah.
Sean tried to give you some bars.
We just clouded, man.
And you met them through me, and you didn't ask me for no bars. Offsides. Flag on the play. I'm calling North Carolina. No, I'm calling North Carolina.
Sean said he wanted to be on there. I said, Coop can spit. And he said he'll smoke Coop's boots. That's what Sean, his words verbatim. That's his words verbatim.
That too is more Queens talk. Have you ever talked to a black man from Queens before? I want you to understand that there's probably somebody in Queensbridge right now be like, yo, I can out rap Nas. You know, he ain't got nothing on me, right?
Yeah.
Coop, you know that's a direct quote coming from Sean. You know, LT. You know that's a direct quote. He always talk about smoking somebody's boots.
This is wild. You want to know it? LT, now that you've done this and made these failures, we're going to need a Hip Hop Talks track where me, Sean, and AG all get a canvas to rap on. We'll all take 16 bars, sir. Go, take your time.
For sure.
We'll all take 16 bars.
Hey, he gave us a shout out on the mixtape though.
He did.
Yeah.
Thank him for that.
Appreciate the shout out. That has nothing to do with my 16. All right. Back to the interview. AG, I'm sure you had some questions that actually had concerned the album. Your
feature request will come with the OVO leather jacket, Coop. So
right.
The leather jacket.
Hey, LT. Let's talk about
logo on the left in gold.
LT, let's talk about your beat selection on the album because, like, you picked a lot of classic hip hop beats, and you were floating on every last one of them. So, what went into your selection as to which beats that you picked for this project?
Man, I know I might be out of bounds for doing this or saying this, but I gotta say this because I know, we're gonna respect the super chats. But man, it's a comment that LP said. He said fighting for placement on LT album is wild work.
You gotta excuse LP from Queens as well. He's from Flushing.
That's more of that LP.
Wow.
That's more.
LP's wild, man.
LP, that's more of that Queens. That's more of that Queens.
LP have problems though.
Here we go
right now.
Nah, let me say this for the chat too. Let me say this for the people. Man, Coop can spit. Coop got bars. I hadn't heard Sean. He said he can rap, but if he can rap, but AG got like classic bars too. And I mean classic because he done it 10 plus years ago, but it was powerful. His subject matter, what he was saying, and at that time period, I can hear it. I really respect it. I respect the forefathers, the founders. Coop got bars too. And on this past show, we were supposed to do something. We didn't get to do it, but
first of all, LT, I need to check a couple people in the chat. I'll smoke all of you dusty little people. Okay,
You might.
all of you are little people. You're dusty. You
might.
don't stand a chance against me. I'll roast you
Yeah,
on my
boy.
off day. I'll roast you on my off day in my spare time, in my free time, with my left-handed thoughts, and I'm really right-handed. You guys suck. I'm the truth. I want my verse on LT's album. Back to the interview once again. Okay.
Dang.
So the beats, LT. How did you pick the beats you came up with, bro?
Man, it's what I like, AG. It's the things I grew up on. It's the things that some of my older cousins were listening to. I say my age. I'm 35, a bit younger than some people, a bit older than some people. I'm right in that middle. Kind of feel like J. Cole. I'm kind of the bridge, the gap between the old school, the new, whatever the case. Grew up on a lot of the stuff my older cousin, which is around y'all's era age. So I'm into that, but I also like. I rock with the little babies. I rock with the baby. I rock, but at the same time, I don't let the bias. Like I've been so different. So that's what goes into me picking beats. And AG, I like to pride myself on my original content. The new album coming out in August or early August, late July. You're gonna hear all original beats, and man, it's gonna blow. I pride myself on beat picking. Y'all say people the best beat pickers. I think I'm one of the best beat pickers. But the classic beats on this tape, it's just the stuff that I like, stuff I always love to listen to. I don't listen to secular music, so I said, man, let me make it some benefit for the people that don't listen to hip hop or that they can tap into this for sure with this project.
No doubt, no doubt. Being a North Carolina native, like Coop, let's get into some of your influences. I know you're a big J. Cole fan, and you wanted to share some thoughts about J. Cole, but I would like to ask you personally, who's on your North Carolina Mount Rushmore for representative rappers? And feel free to put yourself on there. You could put Coop on there too. I wouldn't advise it, but you could put Coop on there too.
Please don't
That's
put me
crazy.
on there when you haven't put me on any of your albums.
Man, Coop, you didn't ask me, brother. You didn't ask me.
I'm just messing with you. No. I'm just messing with you.
I put all of y'all on my man. Look, hey, one thing for real. Let's do that. Let's do that hip hop talks track and let y'all three get on
the posse cut.
Yeah, let's do that for real. Let's do that. I'm gonna send a beat, but not a rap. North Carolina Mount Rushmore. Woo, you put me on the spot. That's a very good question, and it's a bad question for me. Because Sean and I were talking, man, because he said there's I don't know if you want to say this, Sean, but does North Carolina have a signature sound? And I said, no. To me,
No.
maybe a hot take, but I said no. And I said, back in the day, one of my people said, why don't you get with this guy, some of the hot guys from Carolina, and y'all come together and make that sound? And I tried to do it, but they wouldn't do it, man. It's just that division mentality. So it's like, man, we all for self, but it's no hate. So Mount Rushmore, man, I mean, I don't know if people get mad at me, man, but it's real. I might have to say, man, I might have to say like this, to be honest. I might have to add a fifth, but it's going to be a controversial four. J. Cole, the baby,
Wow.
P.D. Pablo, and me. No, not me. I'm not going to put me up there, man.
No Fonte?
No Rhapsody? No Fonte?
I mean, I just don't feel like people done it. I mean, maybe Fonte, of course. Little brother, but PD took it mainstream, more so than Fonte. I can't wait. I don't know, man. I don't know. Don't just J. Cole all 4 spots and then Fonte at number 5.
Man, you let North Carolina down. If West Virginia had 4 people, best believe I could name them.
J. Cole. No.
Yeah.
No, I would tell you that I think J. Cole, Fonte, and Rhapsody are the 3 easy choices. And I would tell you that 4th choice would be a stylistic choice between the baby or P.D. Pablo. But I would tell you, even though P.D. is the one that has put us on, the baby is proven to be the bigger star. And I would give him the nod. There's other cats people don't know about, like King Mez, who was signed to Aftermath, and Dr. Dre. That's part of why you're not familiar with Mez. Mez is from Charlotte, too. There's other local cats that I've been all around for a long time that I could name. But if I was objectively picking, it would be Cole, Raps, Fonte, and the baby. And Petey would probably be that 5th slot.
Okay, I mean, I could co-sign Coop's list. Cole Rhapsody, Fonte and the Baby. That's cool.
All them niggas in trouble if I walk in the building on my shit. Everybody in trouble.
Yo, LT,
I'm gonna
I
tell
know
them,
you
be
to
like,
be a
look
very.
here, take your microphone, take your girlfriend, taking everything.
See, this is why Coop
That's how
can't
I
be
used to
on your
walk in the building,
record,
like, I'm taking everything
LT.
from everybody. They'd be like, let's get this motherfucker first.
Cooper Valley.
Yo, LT, I know you to be a very modest dude, but you know, you heavy out here, and I want you to speak to your affiliation with BSF, you know what I'm saying? And you got us some looks on our channel before, giving us exclusive content at shows and concerts with Benny and stuff, and we appreciate things that you've done for us. So tell the chat a little bit about, you know, the affiliation you have with BSF over there.
Well, first of all, man, even with this show, Hip Hop Talks, I was speaking to Benny's manager. That's my guy. Shout out Harlem Zone, and he's down there in Atlanta now. But Hip Hop Talks, I saw the show, and I was talking to him at the time when I seen the new show premiere. And I texted him. I said I was telling him about this show. So that was kind of like a little funny story as far as they go. But I just started with promotions with Fuego Bass. Shout out Big Bass, BSF Bass. That's my guy, Connecticut. And I started with him doing promotions, man, and just got connected with the camp. Just been solid, doing a lot of promotions, marketing, a lot of events on their tours, connecting them with a lot of media, a lot of connects that I have in New York and LA, Atlanta as well. Salute the Coop as well. Yeah, just a lot of it's just a network. So yeah, with BSF, did a show down here, out here in Little Rock where I'm at. I'm at the radio station now, but they had an event with Benny. I think it was his first time coming to Little Rock, Arkansas, and this is where I do my business. And my wife, her family's from here, is why I'm in Arkansas. Would have still been in North Carolina, but you know, so they did their thing. BSF. Shout out Big Sule. He opened up for Benny the Butcher, a New Jersey native. He got bars on top of bars. But yeah, that's how I got connected through with Benny's manager. We've been rocking ever since, and I definitely got the shout out Hip Hop Talks Benny. And then I remember down in Atlanta, they had an event at Coop. Coop got a few photos and got a write up on Benny at the time he was dropping his first debut for Def Jam. So yeah, a lot of connections and plugs and sockets and outlets. Yes, sir.
Actually, I wanted to take a moment and actually let you know how real those connections and plugs are. Like, first of all, Fuego, like everybody from Connecticut knows Fuego. So one of my people down here, my man's, he just got locked up actually, so he's gonna be gone for a minute. But when I met him and he told me he's from Connecticut, I was like, I interviewed Fuego Bass. He was like, yeah, Fuego from and like started running Fuego's whole thing down. He's like, Fuego's repping us. He's the only guy that knows us. I was like, I met Fuego through my man LT. The other week I was with my homegirl from Harlem, and she was like, you fuck with Benny? And I'm like showing her the picture. She was like, how the fuck you got a picture with Benny? I'm like, and she was going crazy. And I was like, my man LT. But I just want to let you know, like, the grassroots work that you do is real. Because I talk to people and deal with people that know the people that you plug me into, like in real time, that like really like swear by and are part of the following and part of the build out. And I think sometimes people don't understand that to get to a certain point as an artist, you have to have the right people behind you, and you are one of those right people that like people don't see. Like, you're integral to the function of those artists' success because you, quite frankly, get the people like me. You know what I'm saying? Like people that they're not going to get to and be like, no. Give me your people too. Like, I'll take your people. Like, you and me, we can do business. And that's how that shit goes. I see Art by Nobody in the chat. He's come up with like 95 different rap. He's come up with 95 different rap names for me. All these rap names are great. I'm definitely taking Coop Wick Bill. Coop Wick Bill, definitely taking that one.
Coop Wick Bill as well.
That one. I love that one.
LT, I got one more offshoot question for you, and then, you know what I'm saying, the guys can ask anything else they want to ask for you slide. But I know one thing me and you talk about on the side, you know what I'm saying, we all some fly guys. You like, you know what I'm saying, fly gear stuff, sneakers. And we talk about, you see the sneakers behind Sean, we talk about, you know, that type of stuff all the time in our little group chat. And, you know, it was an honor to meet you the first time we pulled up. And, you know what I'm saying, you hopped out the whip. You took that fashion to a whole other level. And between the four of us, you was dressed better than Coop.
Looking crispy.
But
That's wild. You was crispy.
I appreciate that.
But yeah, talk to us a little bit about fashion. You got an interest in that?
Oh, let's do it this way then. Instead of talking, let's show it. And then again, we're gonna show some hip hop too, but let's show it. So first of all, let's do a little outfit check. No homo. None of that.
He got he got visual aid.
Hey, and I salute y'all too for
Coop
like you said, man. Y'all some fly fellas, man. Coop, AG, Sean, I love but check it out, man. We got the throwback Chris Paul joint, the Olympic gold medal jersey on right here. That throwback, man. Let me step up in the hold on.
What are you doing?
Rip the Mary jeans, man. Rip the Marys.
Yo, we are having a John Witherspoon moment.
We got
with the quarter date.
Them OG ones, man. Fire red joints, man. You see what's going on. We
got LT gonna fall.
I'm gonna fall. That Louis coin collector, man. And then,
Okay.
of course, the bag,
What you hold on.
Something like.
What you all are witnessing right now is some North Carolina shit. Okay, keep on going. Okay.
Straight North
Yo,
Carolina.
we had the John Witherspoon like with the mushroom jacket, like.
Yo, with
LT corner day.
Yo, he hopped out the whip with the scarf on. I was like, yo,
the soldier, the leopard soldier rag was crazy. I rock with it though.
That cheetah. My wife loved that joint.
Yeah.
Yo,
they talk about the Timbs.
So LT, I can't front when we hopped out and I see you in the leopard with the leopard do-rag. I said, we interviewing Prince today? What the fuck?
That's exactly what you said.
That's exactly what Coop said.
That is what I said. Like, see, people don't understand. They think it's the show. I'm really wild in real time.
Yeah. Dude is wild though, man. This dude taking a piss in the
I said, yo, what's going on? I said, I feel like I'm interviewing Prince and we about to get robbed at the same time. I said, something ain't right. I said, where are we?
We weren't gonna get robbed.
Yeah.
I
know heavy hitter. Some of us are on probation. All right.
Like, yo, and what LL did bing.
But nah, man, that I do want to say, all jokes aside, man, it was dope to pull up in your town and get a chance to meet you and chop it up with you. You such a good dude, man, and you know what I'm saying. We glad to have you as extended family, man. We chop it up on a regular basis, and I really hope people sew into this project and really tap in and give it an honest listen, man, because I've ran it back twice today and it's super dope. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not just saying that gassing you because you hear it, man. Like what you did on this project was really dope, man. So, please, when Sean drops the link in the chat, y'all make sure y'all check it out for sure.
Yes, sir. That's that fire dedication to Yahweh.
I would like to thank AG for totally handling this interview while I went on a total riff every time I got a question. That was great work by AG.
You went rogue. Like when we do our posse cut track, leave it up to Coop to be the Rick Ross on the record and totally be off subject.
Boss.
I'm dissing mad cats on. Or it's a gospel rap joint.
What you can say what you want. You just gotta bleep it out.
No. See, you can diss people. You just can't curse.
Okay.
You see, you got to talk in code.
There
You'd be like, use a Jezebel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's how you gonna talk.
LT looks like it's just gonna be me and you on the track, brother.
Use a pariah getting swallowed up by Jonah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like it's gotta be that. You gotta hit him.
Coop, you thinking like that 08 Wayne?
You never had wives like Solomon. You's a little man. Bars. That's what I'm saying. You gotta think.
Touch him, Coop.
No, I'm already stacking up. It's over for these months. You just gotta not curse. That's the problem. It's about to be so hard.
Yeah. Dope project, and y'all are lucky. LT threw an extra bonus track on there for y'all, just so y'all know.
Thank you, AG. Salute AG for that bonus track.
Yo.
No, but for real, LT, salute you and all that you do.
Sure.
We're definitely gonna support your project. If there's anything that we can do to support, let us know. We appreciate you coming on.
That must be Andrew Mirror Music. Said CP3 is North Carolina as well. I meant to say
that's correct. Winston-Salem area.
One of my favorite point guards of all time. I don't care if he got a chip or not. Love CP3, man.
my favorite player. That's why I got this jersey.
He's a dog,
This
man. I love CP3.
rare
Top
joint
10
on.
point guard all time. Top 10
My
point guard
favorite
all
player.
Easily.
Top 10.
Somebody said, "What's up, Shelby?" Shout out to y'all. But I definitely wanted to. I like I say, the project is out right. No, it's not. It come out tomorrow. But for y'all, like I said, it dropped. Sean dropped that link in the chat after this broadcast. Y'all tap in with that. And I definitely, if y'all don't mind, fellas, I know I'll take any more questions before we wrap up. But I wanted to give the people a little expose too. Whenever we could do that.
No doubt. No doubt. Go ahead. What you got?
We okay. Check it out. Check it out. Then let's get straight to it. Then I want to get a people a little bit of bars because again, this is hip hop talks. So we're gonna give them hip hop. I don't know, and I challenge anybody else, all the other, any artists, rappers, man. When y'all come on here, get a people something, give them a reason to buy into the product, especially if they don't know you. And y'all tapping into something like, let's just say you stumbling up on like a little unheard secret, as far as this go. So if you, other than my people, I Am God and the other catch I had on here from Philly, other than that, man, it ain't too many, so check it out. I know Sean, Coop, and AG, y'all say Nas is the go to hip hop, and I agree. But Yahweh the GOAT, the king over everything, that's sharper than any two-edge, harder than walking roof ledge, coming against what dudes pledge, coming against what you said. Don't fraternize with two sets. Demonic, Masonic, when the wage higher, you lose best. The underdog. Check the spread over under. If demons talking, put them on mute. Yahweh soldiers are conquer. Boy, this the Genesis, no buster. No big bangs among us. Through the extinction level events, anarchy, reach out and touch them. Touch it, bring it, pay it, watch it, leave it, automatic. Jesus coming, whether they believe it, we just see it when it happened. Promise Yahshua done it, covered me in a boss's fashion within these lyrics. No image, no gimmicks, and no caption, just God status and drop top convertibles. Praying for my brothers, instead of sliding and murking dudes, showing Yahweh up. Ultimate display of servitude, how they corrupted us, controversial, but it's time to bring logic. Instead of just letting the narrative rule, enemies checking your pockets, spirits watching, letting them boom, devils ain't hitting his pocket. Sonship, boom, sonship, it be the knowledge. They won't acknowledge the truth. Ooh, enter every room with a confident stature. Don't ever portray to be God. He authored this passage, and we know my Father inhabits every prayer enacted through the holy grace of Yahweh. See these demons combated. Boy, it's the Holy Spirit on loose. These rappers, Judas embarrassing. Judas, oh yes, a scary. You're kicking what is embarrassing. Find you one of them lukewarm rappers and go and challenge them, because coming against his sons like having gun without clips. Powerless. Make America think again, man. It's LT, God like. Period.
No. Hold on. I'm not done with you. Not done with you just because you did that.
We can go again. We got 1,000.
No. Not even that. So,
okay.
All right.
So, question before you go. Since you said some of the things that you said, and I heard what you said, explain to the people who Yahshua is.
That's the original name of who we call Jesus Christ. As a lot of people might not know, and it's like we're getting into a little study here, but a lot of people might not know his original name, of course, in the Hebrew and Aramaic, but then it was translated to the Greek, to the Latin, and to the English. So if you go back, that original name, Yeshua HaMashiach, that's the Messiah, the Savior, Christ. So I don't really care like what you call it. Is important, but it's up to the level of your knowledge. You can only go as far as your knowledge will allow you to go. So I understand what I studied, the original, and that's Yeshua, the Christ.
Yep.
Right. Well, I do believe names are important because when you call him Jesus, that is actually a Greek interpretation of the god Zeus, not actual
Jesus. And
correct.
Jesus. You're right.
Correct. That's another conversation for another day. I just wanted you to teach the people right quick, LT. Go ahead somewhere, man. Go ahead.
The chat said the freestyle was fire. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm the people's champ out here, man. Go tap in with that project.
Yep. Definitely fire freestyle. If you like that, check out the rest of the tape, man. Y'all won't be disappointed for real.
Guarantee it. Make America think again.
LT, we appreciate
you, LT.
Man, God bless y'all. Tap in with the projects. It's just for y'all. Hip Hop Talks. Remember where you heard it. Shout out Big BSF, Benny, Fuego, Sule, Harlem, 8 a.m. Exposure. Shout out my man Kev Adventures. He engineered that whole project too, from Yonkers, New York. Yo, Rest in Heaven, DMX. A couple of his tracks on there. Tupac, J, Nas tracks. Check them out. We healing the beats, not killing the beats. LT, God life.
Appreciate you, brother.
Word. Peace, bro.
Peace.
Bet.
Yo, we might need to do that more often, fellas. We need to bring somebody on to do a freestyle.
Yeah, he had a sway in the morning moment right there.
No. I like
LA
like
Leakers.
that. First of all, I don't like the fact that people think that I don't belong around Mount Rushmore. I might do the freestyle next week. You don't know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
So disrespectful.
Who want to challenge? We put a challenge out there, Coop. Let's put a challenge out there. Who want to come and challenge Coop on a quick freestyle battle next week?
We can do that. You want to know what? If they want to really be with the shits, we can be with the shits again.
You know what? We can put some money up on it too. We can put a little pot out there.
If you want to be with the shits, I can be with the shits again. I got free time now. See, I got to graduate. I got some free time. I got some free time and I got some free money again. We start telling niggas, motherfucker, I might be in the dice game on next Thursday.
You can't be gambling your daughter's graduation money, Coop. Slow down. Slow down.
Sorry. I did walk in the room. I did walk in the room this morning. I was like, can I have one of those 50s back? Like one of those 50s?
Yo.
Right quick. I'm just about to go, little Ace Deuce trips, I'm gonna go make 200, I promise.
Yo, that is crazy. Yo, poets say Chief, I'm a Coop versus Leroy. I said Chief versus Coop.
Who? Stop that. First of all, stop that. Second of all, Chief, who's Chief?
He's in our Discord. Chief got bars, man. Chief dope.
Chief dope?
Yeah, he super chatted earlier, Chief and them. That was him.
That's Chief and them. Okay.
Yeah, he from NY. Yeah.
We can let Chief step to the microphone. I'm more than willing. Whatever.
We've heard a lot of Chief stuff. Chief's dope, man. He got dope stuff. And shout out to Chief, man. He one of the regulars in the Discord, man. Chief wild though, man.
I mean, low key, I have not regularly, but I have written rhymes for the first time in a long time over the course of this past year. Not a lot, but about 4 or 5 or 6 that I started, and that's been the first time in a long time. So I've been kind of it'd be like an itch you want to scratch sometime. You know what I'm saying? I always do the little freestyle shit, the little when I be doing shit. But it's no, I started writing shit this past year, writing again. That might be a good song,
That's what's up.
Show me. Bring your ass. So bring your ass, Chief. Okay, talking about some Chief. Okay, you ain't Patrick Mahomes, nigga. Curly hair ass nigga.
That's crazy. That is wild. That's wild.
So what else we got? We got the anniversaries, or we packing it in?
Part of me feels like we should pack it in because we're not going to give the anniversaries maybe they're just due.
I agree.
And so I think maybe we should talk off scenes about maybe planning a quick segment of about 30 minutes to give each one of those albums 15 minutes. Because I think those albums do deserve the three of us sitting down and giving them at least 15 minutes apiece. And I think our audience deserves to hear us talk about those albums. Because here's the thing that I realized. Well, we are talking about 2 of the 25 best rap albums ever made, so that means it's something needs to be talked about.
Yeah,
because part of the conversation I wanted to have is actually which album is actually better all time?
That's a good ass question.
Yeah,
it is because I made a list and I actually have 25 rap albums sitting right here, and both of these albums are in there, and it's hard to find a place to place them. It's neither one of the albums is going to make the top 10. But placing them somewhere between 11 to 25 is really an interesting conversation. And since both albums were released a day apart, I think it actually is one of our better rap conversations.
That's a fact.
And because of the artists, because actually, if you really look at them for the times, both artists did similar things to the rap industry with their debut albums.
Great point.
That's a fact.
So they're actually more I didn't realize it. This is why dates and stuff matter. And the synergy sometimes is weird. I didn't realize there were so many comparisons between these 2 albums until y'all put it on the docket that we was talking about. And then I listened to it. I was like, damn. I was like, these albums is a lot alike. These are the anti-establishment albums. These are my people that struggling albums. These are this nigga is upset albums. These are this nigga is scary albums.
Yeah.
This nigga scary. This nigga right here scary. Like I was afraid of Ice Cube on America's Most Wanted. Talking about the nigga you love to hate. No, that's the nigga I'm scared of the most. I had never heard a nigga talk like that before. Except for him on Straight Outta Compton. That, like, look here, growing up, I'll tell you the 3 black men I was scared the most of. Ice Cube on Straight Outta Compton. Scarface on Mr. Scarface's back. And then Ice Cube again on America's Most Wanted.
Yeah.
3 niggas? 2 niggas.
Yeah. I think that Ice Cube, we'll talk about this more when we get to the album, but on America's Most Wanted, I think he proved to be one of the, if not the most greatest orators we have in hip hop. My list is always him and Chuck D and Tupac. That's my 3 of the greatest orators that we've had in the hip hop genre. So
yeah.
Okay, so how about this? Here's how important Ice Cube is. Tupac, to me, more than anybody else, is the mashup of Ice Cube and Chuck D. That's really what he watched. Mm-hmm. Tupac is Ice Cube and Chuck D put together.
I agree with that.
That's where he gets it from. So when you're talking about the orators, oh no, Tupac is the orator he is because he grew up on Chuck D and Ice Cube.
Right.
Yeah. Like they talk about in his book, like one of his proudest moments when he was like, he rapped for Chuck D. And he's like, Chuck D said I had flows. Like that meant everything to Pac.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Well, we can end it there and then plan to pull back up again and talk about these classics.
Yeah. We'll definitely circle.
I think we can all find a 30-minute gap somewhere.
For sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's give the people what they want. You may get in comments to come back anyhow. They want more content from us. So we'll give y'all what y'all want. We got you. Yo, shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody. LB, Miss LB, Poets, LP, Chief, everybody, MAGA. I'm trying to just everybody who showed love tonight. CJ the Kid for sure. Master Lee, who else we got out there? If I don't share your name, I apologize. Darian, everyone who sent the super chat, we appreciate the love. Ill Magic, Terrence, Mad Max, Dulce Falco. Everybody, shout out to all of you. Tonight was good. Everybody showed up, had some good comments, some good jokes and everything. I see that Poet said this is a very calm podcast. Yeah, for the most part, we can be calm. You know what I mean? We gentlemen. We are gentlemen. So,
first of all, Poets. First of all, I didn't appreciate the 97 rap names. Hold on, was that Poets who did the 97 rap name?
No, that was who was that?
I'm blaming Poets.
That was a Poets.
Now it ain't calm no more. You feel better now? She done rocked the boat.
That was art. That was art. Art by nobody. He was putting all that. Art is crazy, man. That was art. We got ZZ said it definitely want more content. We got it. We got it. We'll pull back up. We'll pull back up. So again, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't done so already, please do that now. Like, share, subscribe, get the views up, get the comments up, get the likes up, get the subs up. Tell a friend, tell a friend. Look out for some more updates on different things. We're definitely going to try to get someone to come on here and challenge Coop to a wrap off. And we
ain't got no bars.
We let the chat do the
do the judging.
Do the judging. Shout out to LT. The actual link is in the chat, so please go through the chat and get
support that.
And support that. We're going to put it on our socials as well. We'll put it in our community post as well for YouTube. So like, share, subscribe, get into the YouTube content, get into the YouTube community, and you can get access to that as well. We appreciate y'all.
Word. Happy belated born day to one of the GOATs.
No doubt.
Christopher Wallace's birthday was yesterday.
No doubt. And salute to Sade, Coop's baby girl, graduation. Coop is officially your old man. Shout out to AG and my little man Jordan, the little tyrant. Shout out to him going into the real.
I want to let you know that this old man is about to step out and party like it's 1945.
Debauchery, man.
No. That's when the economy was good and you could buy a house and land and groceries and gas and shit was affordable. People talking about party like it's 1999. No, nigga, I was alive in 1999. That shit was terrible in the hood. Niggas are getting shot out here. I want to party like it's 1945. That's when, you know, little bombs over Baghdad, except for it wasn't over Baghdad. Everybody had a little money when they came back. A little change, a little house. You can get a house for $17,000 right now. Can't even get drugs for $17,000.
I don't think he was getting a little from the bank in 1945, dude.
Right.
I'm just saying. I don't think that was happening.
You don't know the places that I've been and the people that I have spoken and dealt with.
Yeah. It's not a good thing. We got to go, man.
I didn't say it was a good thing. I just said you don't know.
Peace, y'all.
1945. Drinking 1942. 1945, drinking 1942. You remember that.
Oh, that is
Take
wild.
some notes. Remember, tell your kids that you saw Coop in his prime. All right?
Yo, peace to Andrew as well.
Shout out to Andrew, man.
Tell your kids.
Peace. Mama Bear, peace.